So let us revise yesterday's sessions, like what we have done and what we have studied till here. So we have performed like two practicals. In that two practicals, we have performed a virtual machine and one of the practical was with SQL. So what in virtual machine we have performed two practicals, one with Windows OS and one with Linux OS, and in SQL we have performed with MS SQL. Okay, so today most probably we will be performing storage account practical, and then we will be moving to this data factory practical. So before moving to the storage account and data factory practicals, I want to let you know something about this data factory. What is the purpose of this data factory? So generally, this data factory is been used by the profile people with the data engineers. So generally, those data engineers are working on this data factory, and they generally do the process of ETL. So what is this ETL known as? It is known as extract, transform, and load. So what is this extract, transform, and load? Generally, what they are doing, they are extracting data from different data sources and they are transforming data into one form, and then they will be loading that data into a database. Okay, and that database can be a data warehouse also, that data can be a big data also. So whatever operations we will be doing on this big data, or whatever transformation we will be doing on this big data, those transformation we will be doing in this data factory generally. So for like we all know, we have created yesterday, we have created database, SQL database, right? But to store data in that SQL database, we need some kind of data, right? So one scenario is like we have created application and we got data from that application. Okay, and that data we need to store it into a SQL or any kind of a database. But there might be in a scenario like the data is coming from different data sources. Like what? Like social media is there, email marketing is there, your IoT sensors are there, like CCTVs are there, any other sensors from which you can get that data. So that data is in not one form, right? Like in SQL, we will be storing data in one form only. So that data which we are getting from different sources, that is not in the one form. And you all might be knowing like this current generation, like the current industry version is of 4.0 and it's start of 5.0. So what is this 4.0? Where all the things, all the companies, all the big giants are working on the data only. Okay. So before the version was 3.0, where those digitalization were going on in the industry. But currently, what is happening here, like in 4.0 and 5.0, so the work is going with the data. Why so data? Because all the digitalization now, almost we can say that it is being completed by those company, and they are now in the phase of getting data from their websites, from their applications, what they have developed yet, right? Like we all know, Facebook is one of them, Google is one of them. So those people are just gathering that data and they are storing that data somewhere, and they are transforming some kind of data, and they are again providing that data to us. Okay, so what that mean exactly? So they are doing some kind of analysis on this data, right? They are finding some insights from that data. Okay, so this is all the culture right now is going with those industries. Like you can take an example of Lenskart also, Zomato, Swiggy, and there are a lot of examples I can view you. Myntra is there, Amazon is there. So what the people like, how they suddenly get too much growth in their company, they get growth due to this data analysis. Okay, like we all know in a traditional company, like you can take an example of any traditional company where those people are working hard and getting work done, and they are planning for their years, their months, and to get growth for their company. But nowadays the trend gets changes. So nowadays people are more into focus, more focus into this data analytics, and they are doing some kind of analysis and getting some insight from that data, and they are taking decision on that basis. Okay, so previously it was not happen like that way. Previously the decisions were done on the basis of the experience, right? So nowadays this experience thing is also working, and with this experience thing they are working on this analysis part also, where people used to take an people now are taking decision on the prediction. Okay, so now you can see there are a lot of programs are going with the stock markets also, with these different chat gpt and all those stuffs are going on. So what is that actually? So that is a kind of data from which we are playing on that, right? So those are the application which we are playing with this data only. So this is all about the data only. So the culture is now going with the data. That is why there are a lot of openings are there in the industry also. You can see with related to this data industry. So now the practical we will be performing is of storage account, like what how we can store data in a cloud. Okay, so to store a data in a cloud, what is needed, right? So either we will be needed some database or we will be needed some space, right? So this is how now the data engineer, what they do, they just extract data from different sources, and they put that data into one storage account. So this is the concept of storage account, which has been used for gathering the data. Okay, so generally the storage account is used to store NoSQL data. So what is this NoSQL data talks about? This NoSQL data talks about like the data which you can say it like some images are there, some videos are there, some unstructured data are there. To store that unstructured data and images, the storage account is being used in this cloud computing. So now we will be learning that thing, like how the storage account we should create on cloud, and how the data we can store in that storage account, and what is the purpose. Like you can create your own storage account and you can have those accessibility also. Okay, like to whom you want to show which data. Okay, that controls also you will be learning in this practical, like how you will be giving controls to the users, like which data should be private and which data should you keep as a public also. Even we will be learning how, like yesterday day before yesterday, at the first day we have learned about virtual machine, right? On that virtual machine we can host our application. But what if so I tell you I am having some static website, okay, and I don't want to, I want to host that website on some cloud, right? But I don't want to host it on the dedicated virtual machine, because it costs me quite more for that, right? So if I tell you, I can use the storage account to host a website also, okay? Like if you upload any HTML file in this storage account, that HTML file is been hosted by the storage account also. So what that means? The storage account is also having some compute resources. Okay. So now let us move to the practical, and those these are the theory related stuff with the storage account, and then later we will be moving like with data factory also, where we will be learning more things about data factory. Okay. So let us start. I think so. 61 people have joined, and I think we should start now. Let me share my screen. Can anyone please confirm me whether you're getting my screen or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, see, for creating storage account, first let me explain you what is this storage account. That already I have explained, but there are the types of storage account in this cloud computing. So let us first create a basic storage account. Okay. So just search for word storage and you will be getting all storage related resources in the services list. Okay. Where you can see the first option is storage account. The second option is storage browser. Like if you want to browse some your whatever storage account you're having. So you will be using this thing. Storage mover, like you want to move from one place to other place, you will be using storage mover. So this is the classic version of storage account. Here you will be using the storage sync services, like whatever services you want to sync with your storage. Now, what is this services mean? Like if I want to create some functions apart from this website, suppose I have explained you how I can host a website on the storage account. And for that website, suppose let us assume like I'm running some functionality. Okay. So anyone comes to this website, I will be taking their username or I will be taking some information from that user and I will be storing it into my storage account. So in that, this is what the dynamic function I'm doing, right? But I can, do, if I tell you, I can do this thing on my storage account also. So you will be getting surprised, right? How that is possible, sir? You are hosting a static website and you are just taking information from users somehow, and you are again storing to this storage account. How you are doing this thing? Yes, we can do this thing. Why so? Because in these services, we can have multiple services which are related to the storage account. I can create a function which is called as Azure Functions. I can sync the data to database to this website also in the storage account only, like where to store this data. So it can be any Excel file, CSV file also. So these services are nothing but the services which are related to the storage account we can create here. We can sync those services to any kind of storage account. Okay, one of the services I have explained you, which is called as Azure Function. Okay, so here you can search for Azure Function. Okay, so this is the app services. When you click on these app services, so those are the app services which are related to the storage account. So here are those app services which you can use for storage account. So web app is there, static web app is there, web app plus database is there, WordPress on app services. So whatever, these are the web applications which you can host it on storage account. So those are the services which you can link with the storage account. So let us search for storage account, and this is the data lake storage gen. Okay. So what is this data lake storage gen? So generally when this, it is a larger, if I tell you what is this data lake, it is the storage account which is been mostly used by the people like developers, the people like business analysts, the people like who is currently like conveniently working on this storage account, like like continuous operations are being done in on this storage account. That storage account is called as data lake storage account. Okay, so mostly this data lake storage account is being used by the developers or any operational team. So this is the larger version of storage account where you are having the larger number of capacities to store the data, and this data lake storage generation you can convert it later on into this data warehouse also. Okay, so this is the concept we have learned till now. What is the storage account data lake? And you can see marketplace like where you can add your storage account from the third party softwares. Here you can see Azure Blob Storage on IoT Edge. Suppose you are doing some IoT projects and you want to store that IoT sensor data. If you are using some sensor in that and you want to store that data into a storage account on cloud storage, so you can use those services. Okay, such like there are a lot of services are there in this storage account where you can see Azure file sync is there, where you will be saving all the file into one storage account and you will be referencing that file to your application. Okay, and one of the best example, if I tell you, like YouTube, right? We all are using YouTube, right? So in this YouTube, whatever the videos we are seeing, right? So you can as you can imagine like the amount of video what YouTube is having with it, right? So how, whether it is possible that those videos YouTube are storing in this SQL database, whether that is possible, please let me know. how those videos are being managed by this YouTube company. What do you think about this thing? Yes, any one of you would like to add something in this? How this YouTube?
Sir, YouTube works on the algorithm, sir.
Yes, it works on the algorithm. Definitely, sir. You are absolutely right. But I just want to know, like, if those amount of data YouTube is having with it, so how this data is being stored and how it is being fetched from this database. Whether that data is being stored in this SQL database, if it will be having they are having their own database, right? So how this YouTube, any video which we are running with 8K quality or 4K quality or 1080 quality, so this YouTube size of that video is actually too large, right? To run that large amount of size, so that data to fetch from somewhere, that can be database or that can be any cloud space, to fetch from there, how those algorithms are being work. Anyone is having idea related to this?
ETL
So it's
process, sir.
kind of big data only, na? Yes or no?
Maybe it is
Yes.
dealt with ETL process, sir. ETL process.
It is what?
ETL process, sir. Extraction, transformation, and loading.
Definitely. So it's a kind of ETL process only, but where what the people are doing. So the amount of videos or the amount of data they are having, so they will be not storing into one SQL database. What they will be storing, all that data they will be storing into one data warehouse or one big data, right? And to fetch that data from any application, from any interface, what they are having with us, like the YouTube is having their own interface, like YouTube app is there, YouTube web application is there, YouTube website is there. So to fetch data from those interface, what they will be doing, they will be adding that video reference into their SQL database. Okay. And with that SQL database, they are fetching with that link itself, they are fetching this video from their data warehouse. Okay. So this is how the YouTube is performing operations, and this is how we can easily and we can get quickly we can fetch any video and we can see any video from their data centers. Okay. So what new things we come to know, like after seeing this example, like the storage account is having its own compute services. Okay. The storage account is having its own compute services which is used to fetch data from one place to other place. Okay. So here you can see, you can create a basic storage account is having 500 TB of data in a cloud. Okay. So you can store up to 500 TB. So this is the basic cloud which we are going to configure. Okay. So that basic cloud is also having 500 TB of space. So you can use for general purpose, like you will be using for NoSQL data storage. Okay. And you can also use for storing structural data also. That it doesn't mean like NoSQL only unstructured data will be getting stored. You can use it to store for structural data also. And you can use like anyhow you can use to store this for storage purpose only you will be using. Okay. So this is all about storage account. Now let us create a storage account first. For creating storage account, go to the search bar and search for storage. Okay. And the first option you will be getting under the services is a storage accounts. Okay. So click on the storage account. So where you will be redirected to this storage account. Okay. So now here you can see one of the storage account is being created by Ankur RG, okay, which is there in this Ankur RG resource group, and the name of storage account is Ankur Workspace. We something name is there, right? So this whatever storage account we will be creating, we will be finding our storage account here itself, okay. So the list of storage account which are there under this EF subscription, will be shown in this list. Okay, and you can restore it, you can manage this, you can manage, you can save the view, you can monitor all the part of the storage account dashboard from here. You can export it into CSV. You can open a query and you can write your own query, like any policy you want to define to any storage account, you can write that also. Okay, so let us create a storage account. For creating storage account, the same steps we are following, right? Like we have created virtual machine, like we have created SQL database, and now we will be creating storage account. The same procedure which has been followed. Okay, click on create button. Okay, where we will be again doing demanding our requirements to Microsoft Azure. So let us demand for basic requirement. So the resource group we will be choosing, which one is that? FTP, AICT, B7 batch and day 3. Okay, so this is the resource group we will be choosing now. Okay, so yesterday it was day 1 and today we have done with day 3. Okay, so all of you will be choosing this resource group, FTP, AICT, B7, day 3. Now the second part we need to demand, the Azure is asking from us, you is the instance detail, like what instance we need to have from this storage account. Okay, so for storage, for creating storage account, he is asking us like, please give name to this storage account. Let us give some name. So it can be any name. Okay, so I have given my name and 123, right? So this is the name. This is the name I want to give to my storage account. Okay, fine. Now, where you want to deploy this storage account? Again, this Microsoft Azure is asking me. So I will be choosing the region which is recommended by Microsoft Azure itself. Now let us choose some different region. So let us see whether India is there in this. So Asian country I'm seeing here. So let us, Asia Pacific is there. Central India is there. Let us choose this Central India. I will be deploying this storage account into my Central India only. So for see, if you are doing some job related to any data, right? So for that also there is one data governance is there who monitors all the concept related with this data. Okay, suppose I don't know if you know this thing, like European countries are there, whatever European countries are there, they got some protocol related to their data, like they will be not sharing their data apart, they will be not sharing their data with other countries. Only the data they will be having, they will be sharing within their European countries only. They will be not sharing data other than European countries. Okay. But this is the governance rule, what they have applied on their data. Okay. For privacy
നീ
purpose.
ആ അക്കൗണ്ട് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്താ മൈക്രോസോഫ്റ്റ് അഷൂർ
Please
ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്താ
mute your mic.
അതെങ്ങനെയാ നിനക്കറിയോ
Okay, so such type of data governance rule, if we are working with data, we need to know all those rules. But Microsoft Azure is having some different rule. Like you can store your data anywhere in their data center. Okay, so the closest recommendation will be given by Microsoft Azure, where you can store your data. And suppose I have chosen this Central India. Okay, fine. What is the performance you want from your storage account? What performance I want it? So I'm doing for, I'm just teaching you this, how to create this storage account. So I don't need the performance part, right? So I will be choosing standard only. If I want like low latency should be there to my storage account, some premium things I will be storing in that, like videos, like YouTube is doing. So I will be choosing this premium option where I will be choosing this premium account, like how the files will be saved. Okay, it will be saved with block blocks, it will be saved with file shares, it will be done with page blocks. Okay, so this is the premium version I can get from this Microsoft Azure. So currently what I will be doing, I will be choosing this standard recommended for most scenario for general purpose use only. Okay, where Again, then the next next question this Microsoft Azure is asking for me is how the redundancy you want to give to your storage account. So again, I will be clicking on this and I will be choosing this locally reductant storage. And yesterday we have discussed about this redundancy also. So anyone having a doubt related to this redundancy option? Yes. If it is available on MS Team.
Redundant storage, excuse me, sir.
Yes, 11.
Sir, redundant storage in the sense it will be stored in more than one database.
Okay, reductant storage. Now, let me explain with you some diagram only. Okay, suppose let us assume this. We are having this box. This is the Microsoft working area. Okay, under this working area, there are different data centers. Okay, so let us assume we are having 4 data centers. So this 4 data center is been divided into one region, okay, or one zone, okay. So this is zone 1, this is zone 2, okay. So locally reductant means, so under this zone 1 there are multiple data center, okay, or let us assume this is zone 1 and this is zone 2, okay. And under this zone also there are multiple data centers, okay, there are multiple data centers are there, and within this data center only we will be replicating our file. That is what called as zone reductor, okay. Within the zone you will be you will be replicating your storage account, okay. What about this geo reductors? Now this is one geographical area, okay. So such like there is one other geographical area will be there, and in which in that area also they are having some zones, and they are having in that zone they are having some data centers. So you want to do the redundancy in this different geographical area, then you will be choosing this geo reductance storage, okay. So if you want to choose the geo and zone reductance, then it will be making reductance in your zone also, and it will be making reductance in your different geographical area also. And locally reductant means like you will be, this is a data center, right? So it will be not used for only for our purpose, right? In this data center itself, you will be replicating somewhere in the other server, you will be replicating your storage account, or you will be replicating your resources. That is what called as local redundancy. Got the point? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now what we will be doing, we will be storing this local reductant storage only, because we will not, we don't need this replication to be done. Okay. So these are the basic steps which we have given to this Microsoft Azure. Now let us click on next button. Now, again, this Microsoft Azure is asking us about the security. How the security you want to give to your storage account. So the options given by this Azure, you can see here, required secure transform for REST API's operation. So what is this REST API? Can anyone tell me? What is the API work here? What is the API work here? For what purpose we will be using REST APIs? Sorry. Yes. It's a kind of application programming interface which is being used for an interaction with your application and server. Okay, just remember this thing. So you want a secure transfer for your REST APIs. Suppose you are you are doing interaction with your application or server with some data, okay, from storage account. So for that, you want some security. This is what the Microsoft Azure is asking to us. So yes, I want that. By default, it has been checked. Okay. So the second option is allow enabling anonymous access on individual container. So what is this container concept? Let me explain you that first. Okay. So the container, you got the idea of storage account. Okay. Now let us move to this container part where you can assume such. You are having one hard disk, like see in my local computer, I'm having this storage account. I'm having this hard disk and which I have just partition into three part. Okay, one is C drive, D drive, and G drive. Okay, under this D drive, I'm having some folders, right? This is admission folder, ABCO folder. Those are the folders are there in my D drive. So this folder I have used for my convenience purpose, right? So I can understand easily which data is being stored in which folder. Okay. So this folder is nothing but your container in the storage. Okay. So the container just works like a folder only where it's work like a container only where you can store a related data in one container. Okay. And to have access to that container, whether you want to enable anonymous access, like anyone can have the access to this container, you want to enable that or not, you will be referring here. Okay, so don't check this box. If you want to use the anonymous access, then and only we'll be checking this box. Okay, then the second security they will be asking enable storage account key access. So how the way you want to access your storage account? With some key you want to access your storage account. So yes, I can access the key also for security purpose. I can access that also. So by default it has been checked. Okay, if you don't want that, you can uncheck this thing. But my suggestions will be keep the default setting only. Don't change anything here. Okay. So minimum TLC version, like it will be telling you transfer version, like how the you will be which version you want to choose for your storage account. So let us choose this 1.2 only. Permitted scope of for copy operation. So how the permitted scope of copy operation you want to have on your storage account. That here you will be explaining that thing. So here you can see the option from any storage account, from storage account in same Microsoft Intra enter from storage account that have private endpoint to the same virtual machine. Okay, so this is the permitted scope of permitted scope for copy operation. So any type of copy operations you are doing in your storage account, so what type of security we should go to that? Okay, this is what all about the security. Click on next button. So here it will Azure is asking us how the networking connectivity you want to keep for your storage. Okay, so this networking access I want it public or I want it some public and some private networks. Okay, or I don't want public, I only want with private access. Okay, those are the three options in which you will be choosing this public access only. So publicly from all network, you can access this storage account. Okay. So network routing, how the network routing you want it? You want with Microsoft network routing or you are having your internet routing and you want that internet routing. Okay. So this is what the traffic part you will be configuring at this point. So choose, don't change anything here also. Keep it by default. Just see whether this enable public access from all networks has been checked.
Excuse me,
okay. Yes.
Sir, in the previous, when we go back to the advanced, There are, in fact, below some hierarchy, namespace, access protocol, block storage, Azure files. That things have been left, I think.
No, I'm not getting your question, sir.
Then in the previous, when you go back to the advanced, now we are in the
Basic.
networking. No, not basic.
Basic tab you are asking.
Advanced tab, sir. Advanced tab.
Advanced tab.
Uh,
Here, sir.
Sir,
Okay.
there
This later part I will. Okay. Sorry.
later
for
part,
that.
I think.
Sorry
Did we
for
skip
that.
that
Let me
one?
explain that. Oh, don't make changes in advanced part. Keep it by default. The explaining
Okay.
part left by me. Okay. Thank you, sir, for noticing this. Okay. Let me explain this part also. This hierarchical namespace where you will be giving a hierarchical nameplace complemented by data lake storage gen 2. Okay. So if you want to learn all those concepts, there is one learn more option where see this Microsoft Azure, each and everything is been documented here. So if you want to learn some concept related to this, learn more option is there where you will be going to this Microsoft official website and you can learn each and everything. Okay, under this concept. So here you can see the feature of data lake storage. Already in very short, I have explained it, to you what is this data lake and how it is being used. Okay, so you can read this document also for your more knowledge. So this is how you will be configuring from here. Okay, so if I choose this data enable hierarchical namespace, so I will be configuring my storage account into the data lake storage gen 2. Okay, where I will be having this access protocol, whether this how the data will be stored into this data lake gen 2. Okay, where I need to enable this SFTP. So what is this SFTP? We are using this is for file transfer protocol, like how the way we will be transferring file from local computer to this storage account. So we want to enable that one. So we can check this thing. So it is used, like I have explained you, the data lake storage gen 2 is been mostly used by this developer team. So for developer team, they continuous work is going with the storage account. Okay, they are just transferring file from local PC to cloud to again local PC. So push and pull operation is continuously going. So this CI and CD is there now, continuous integration and continuous deployment. So those things are working with this data lake storage account only. Okay, so right now, but we don't need we don't need this data lake storage account. We are configuring a simple basic storage account only. Okay, so don't check this thing what it is I have explained to you. So blob storage. So what this blob storage tell us? So Azure is asking us, you want to allow the cross tenant replication. Okay. So this cross tenant replication is again with this replication only. So how the replication, how the security of data. So because see, when these companies of cloud computing, they are very focused on the security part. Okay, they never want like their user should lose their data in any manner. Okay, so whatever things they can do, they will be providing you. Okay, and they are they are assuming like they are challenging this thing like your data will be never lose in our servers. Okay, 99.99% they are challenging this thing to us. Okay, so you will be not losing your data. So access tier and access tier, how your storage account will be accessed. Okay, it will be accessed frequently or it will be accessed infrequently. Suppose some of the storage account we will be using for only storage purpose, it will be not accessed frequently. Okay, at that time, for cost reduction purpose, we will be choosing this full storage account. Okay, and if my storage account has been accessed continuously or frequently, then I will be choosing this hot account. Okay, by default it is being choose with hot account. So whether you want to enable larger file shares in your storage account, that question has been asked by this Microsoft Azure. And if we choose this larger file, so we can share a larger amount of file from your storage account to your application or any type of resources. Okay. So don't click here also. Keep it by default only. Don't make any changes in the advanced setting. Okay. Then click on networking. So this is also explained by me. and go to data protection, where you will be seeing the monitoring part of your data, where so data, whatever data, it will be stored into your storage account. If someone deletes and you have given to certain people access to that storage account and someone deletes some data, so how, so on that deleted data, what monitoring you want to do? This is what all about. So how you will be recovering that deleted data? So for deletion purpose, you want to enable this soft delete for blobs. So what is this blob? So the data which will be stored in this storage account will be stored in the form of blobs only. So whatever storage, whatever data has been deleted, do you want to delete? Do you want to have this soft delete function for on that? So what this soft delete like? It will be not after deleting this data. It will be not getting deleted. It will be stored somewhere. Like we are deleting our, we are like deleting some data from our PC. So when I delete in this manner, okay, so it will be moved to my recycle bin, okay, and that recycle bin will be getting empty. That recycle will be getting empty after 7 days, okay, if no operations is been done on that data, okay. So here I can increase the numbers of days also. So 8 days I can put it, but by default it is 7 days. So all those operations you will be finding here. Here you will be finding how you will be tracking if the data, important data gets deleted and you want to recover that data. So you will be enabling these tracking options from which you can track who has deleted the data and from where we can track this data. Okay, from where we can get this data. Okay, so this is all about the data protection. Okay, now let us move to the next step, encryption. Okay, in which you will be again, the Microsoft is asking like how, asking questions about the data encryptions, whether you want to encrypt your data, how you want, how you will be encrypting data. So it which the first option is Microsoft managed key. The second option is customer managed key. Okay. So we will be encrypting data type will be encryption type will be Microsoft managed key by default because we are using this Microsoft storage account. So by default, it will be taking managed key. You can put it customer managed key also, but keep by default setting only. Don't make any changes. Like I'm just explaining all the part. So here the Microsoft managed key will be using this encryption type. Like any key, when any data is will be stored in the storage account, it will be getting encrypted with some Microsoft managed key. Okay. Enable support for customer managed keys, like how you will be enabling support for customer managed keys. It will be either blob or and files only, or all services you want to provide to your storage account. Okay. So someone access with some key, what type of functionality you want to give to that customer. Okay, that part you will be configuring here. Okay, so those are the questions related to the encryption were asked by this Microsoft to us, and we need to configure that. Okay, so let us move to the next one where the tags are given. Like yesterday I have already explained this tag role also, for what purpose it is being used. Suppose I'm having different peoples under me and I will be giving name of that people, what type of value, like what is the work of that people, and what resources he can see. Okay, what resources I need to give permissions to him. Okay, I can find here. So here I can see private endpoint, storage account, and virtual network. Okay, so these are the resources which will be getting created when we create this storage account. Okay, so this is all about the storage account creation, and now we will be moving to this next step of review. Okay, so now whatever things we have demanded to this Azure, the Azure gets started the reviewing part, like it gets started validating part by creating JSON file. And after I click on create button, it will be that JSON file will be getting transferred to this server of Central India, and the Central India start initializing this JSON file and start deploying the process. Okay. So here you can see submitting deployment and the process has been getting started. So after deployment, how the operations we can do on storage account, that we will be seeing now. Okay. So hope so you all people have performed the same operation with me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So please take a screenshot and do the same thing, like post it in the chat box. Sorry. So see at my side, my deployment is completed. Hope so you are also getting the same message of deployment is completed. Anyone getting error related to deployment? Regarding deployment, anyone are getting error? Please let me know. No, sir. Thank you, Deepak sir, for replying. Please do the practicals, take a screenshot and put it in the chat box. So Dinah, are you there on the call?
Yes, Mahesh. Actually, I have connected with Shashank. He'll be joining shortly.
Okay. So are the volunteers will be joining? At what
Yes,
time they
like
will be joining?
10:30, right, Shashank? Then
10:30. It's 10:27 right now.
then 27 is.
Should
Yes, sir,
I
there-
start the further thing or should I wait here?
I think the volunteers are ready to join. Ramya, have you joined the session? Ramya from EY or any EY volunteers joined the session? Okay, so it looks like they have not joined it. Maybe we can take like 5 to 10 more minutes to discuss something, and then once they join, we can hand over the session with them. But I think it will take 5 or 10 more minutes, Mahesh.
Okay. Actually, Anupama ma'am is asking one question, like how they will be accessing these recordings. So Anupama
So-
ma'am, you can access via YouTube also. The YouTube link is provided by Shashwatam sir. So you can access through this YouTube link only. And if you want to download this video, so I think Shashwatam, we are uploading on LMS also.
The
Or
recorded
they can
sessions.
only have access through YouTube only.
So it will be only in the YouTube, but my understanding they can also download it from the YouTube also if needed. But I'll just message the YouTube link once again here. I just messaged in the morning, but again, I'll put the link here. Just give me a minute. I will also share that link in the WhatsApp group so that like everybody can access it. Just a minute.
Excuse me, Mahesh sir.
Yes, madam.
Sir, just a small doubt. In tags, name, value, and resources given. So in resources, by default, it is all resources selected.
Yes, it has been checked with all resources. So the stack part is what, ma'am? Actually, the stack part is for additional information to be stored for
So
these
we
resources. So in
leaving
a
as it is.
company, there are a lot of operations are going, right? There are a lot of departments are there. So generally those departments, whatever those departments are creating the resources. So to identify those resources, this tag part is being given by this Microsoft Azure. Like if I create hundreds of resources for my department or for my development team. So those hundred of resources it's being used for what purpose. For that thing, actually, those tags field is being given.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Fine, sir. Thank you.
Okay, okay. And this access part, na, like to whom to give which access, that is being done with done. You can change in your dashboard also. Under this resource dashboard, you can change that part. Okay, everyone completed with the deployment. How much screenshot we got, Tina, in the chat box? Can you tell?
1 minute.
So almost 82 people are there.
Sir, once the
Around
deployment is
10.
Only 10?
Yes, yes.
Yes, Gayatri, you are saying something?
once the deployment is completed, we can check in the resource. Go to resource, no, sir?
Click on go to resource. Click on go
Yes,
to
sir.
resource, and you will be getting redirected to this dashboard of your storage account. So from
Fine,
here,
sir.
you can monitor your storage account. Like if you want to see information related to the storage account, you will be finding under this essentials. You want to see the properties, what properties this storage account is having with it. You can see from properties. Any monitoring part you want to do, you will be clicking on monitor. And here, some data visualization will be done. Some graphical chart will be shown, which has been shown
sir?
for like related to your storage account only. Yes.
వీళ్ళ వేయొద్దు
Anyone?
వీళ్ళకి నలుగురికి అప్పుడు కానీ తెలిసిన
Okay, Sandhya ma'am, please mute yourself. So these are the related stuff. These are the related charts which will be showing the graphical format of your storage account. So here you can see total increase, total increase, like how the way your data is flowing from your storage account. This graph will be shown here. Then average latency, like what is the latency you are getting for your data. So it will be shown here. Request breakdown, like any request and some breakdowns happens with the storage account, it will be shown here. And additional Azure Monitor tools. So additional tools are there, which has been given for support itself for the storage account will be shown here. Capabilities, what type of capabilities your storage account is having. So here you can see, you can host a website also, static website, host a static content on the blob services. You can have data protection feature. You are having lifecycle management. You are having front door and CDN profiles. You are having custom domains. Okay, so you can change the domain name for your website. You can configure this custom domain for accessing blob data. What is this custom domain? Like what domain name is there, under that domain you are making some subdomains. That is what the custom domain. You can change that also. According to data, you can change the URL. Okay. So security, whatever security features we have discussed, this is the one of the feature. Then private endpoint, like this storage account, you can convert it into private, public or hybrid. Okay. So this is the capabilities what the storage account is having. Recommendations. So there will be no recommendation. If you want to view recommendation, which is will be given by this Azure, you can go to this link and you can see that also. Tutorials, like each and every document related to the storage account, you will be learning from here only. So see here, Azure storage documentation is there. So related with each and every part of this will be documented under these three files. So this is the overview of your storage account. Okay, let us move to the activity log, where the activity done under the storage account, that activity log you will be getting seen at this point, like at what time, what is the date, which is the subscription, and who is the event initiated by, what is the event initiated by. Okay, those activity log you can monitor from here. Tags part, from here you can see the tags, whatever tags you have given, those tags will be seen here. any troubleshooting or diagnose problem you want to do with the storage account, you can do it from here. Any access control you want to provide to the storage account, you can provide from here, where you can add users who can access the storage account, or you can only keep it for yourself only. Okay, so that totally depends on access control, like what type of access you want to give to your storage account. Data migration. So if you want to migrate your data, so you will be using this resource type, like for which resource type you will be selecting, and you will be selecting the transferring scenario, and you will be migrating this data from one storage account to other storage account. Events. In these events, you will be like I have spoke related to the services. So here you can see the events. So logical app is there. So here you can see the data is coming from this. It is being getting stored into this blob storage, and again it is being converted, transformed, and again it is being stored into this binary form, and again some process is being getting. So this is the process for new blob upload, and this is the process for when new image is being uploaded. Okay, so some blob gets uploaded, it will be stored into the blob file, and it will be stored into the structural data. And when the image gets uploaded, it will be converted into this binary format, and then it will be getting stored into again picture format. So this is the images you can this is the process you can see with the storage account, how this process has been going. Okay, so those are the events. Storage browser.
Mahesh, I guess volunteers have joined.
Okay, fine.
Hi, Kanishka, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Shashank.
Kanishka, Ramya hasn't joined yet. Any idea when
Yeah,
she'll be joining?
I have actually pinged her and Pratima both, so she has not replied yet. I'm not sure if she's going to join or not.
Okay. So shall we start with you only, or we should wait 5 more minutes?
I think we should wait for them because the main Azure session is going to be taken by Ramya. I'm going to cover the data warehousing concepts, right?
Okay, sure. So we can wait for 4 minutes, then we can start from 10:40.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Also, can you please make me as presenter?
Sure. Yes, done, Kanishka.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, faculty, you can perform your practical of storage account. You can explore the part which I have explained to you, and put the screenshot in the chat box also, so I can see whether how many of you have performed the practicals.
Mahesh sir, I have one small doubt, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, actually, earlier to cloud concept, we had data warehousing concept, no, sir. So how is that warehouse and a cloud they differ, sir? Only in with respect to accession they differ, or there are any other parameters in which they can be differed, sir?
I'm not getting your question properly. Like what you want to say?
Earlier to cloud concept, we had data warehousing concept.
Okay.
So which stores heterogeneous data from different domains. So when we speak, even in cloud, we can have multivarious types of domains of data storage.
Yes,
so how
we can
is
have
it?
that.
So how both of them are different, sir? In which aspect you can differ them?
Okay. Kanishka ma'am, you want to say something on this?
I'm sorry, I was pinging Ramya and Pratima. So what is the question about?
So-
What is a major parameter in which the cloud and warehouse concepts differ, ma'am?
So
See,
actually, Gayatri ma'am wants to know like what is the difference between cloud and data warehouse? What is this data warehouse concept and what is this cloud concept exactly? So
so
they have
cloud
studied
concept,
this.
I think, yeah, Ramya will be able to tell, but data warehouse I can tell.
Mhm.
So
So
data
data warehouse.
warehouse, yeah, sure. So data warehouse is basically a system used for reporting and data analytics. It is also a process for collecting and managing data from varied sources. So you might have gone through data mart and data warehouse terminology as well. So data
Yes.
warehouse is superset of data mart. That is another terminology altogether. So if we consider data warehouse as a book, then data mart are its individual chapters.
Fine.
Yes. So generally,
And
ma'am, Gayatri ma'am, actually this cloud computing and data warehouse. So in cloud computing, what we have learned the concept of data warehouse, right? But in
yeah,
cloud computing, some computing resources you can create. You can't use only for this storage purpose or for any other purpose related to the data. You in cloud computing generally you will be doing some computing processes on cloud on virtually you are doing like you are creating virtual networks, like you are creating virtual machines, like you are creating
correct.
different processes like joining operation is there, ETL process is there. So this is the difference you can generally get it from cloud computing and data warehouse.
And we can as well deploy many warehouses in the cloud with respect to storage, I believe, sir.
Yes, ma'am. So
Yes.
many resources you can deploy on this cloud computing, and in data warehouse you will be just manipulating on this data. You're doing data manipulation on this data warehouse, and it is the larger form of data mart and data storage account.
Maybe we cannot create virtual resources with respect to warehouse. We
No, the
focus only on
resources already there with storage account also and with data warehouse also. So they are connected, they are linked up with each other.
okay, sir.
Hmm.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, Gayatri.
Shashank, I'm not sure if Ramya is going to join. She's offline, seems offline to me. So what shall we do? Should we start with me? Hello.
Yes, Kanisha, ma'am. You can start, I think so. You can start the session.
Yes, Kanishka, we can start.
Okay.
And let's check if Ramya joins in between. We can hand over the session to Ramya. Else we
Sure.
can wind up then. Sure, let
Yes,
me
yes,
start.
please.
Thanks.
Let's start then.
I'm sharing my screen, Kanishka.
No, I can share my screen. Actually, I have the PPT with me.
Just 2 minutes. I need to introduce you to the faculty members.
Okay, got it.
I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, your screen is up.
Okay, so a very good morning to all the faculty present here. My name is Shashank. I am from Edinet Foundation, and I welcome the team from EY GDS. I also welcome all the faculty members to this knowledge engagement session on cloud computing. I thank you all for joining the session. And to facilitate the session, we have expert from EY GDS, Ms. Kanishka Pundir. Ms. Kanishka is a highly skilled data engineer with over 4 years of experience in specializing in the art of data modeling and to meet the diverse requirements and conducting thorough analysis. Ms. Kanishka possesses a keen analytical mind and a proven track record in transforming complex datasets into actionable insights. Beyond professional prowess, Ms. Kanishka embodies a natural curiosity, always seeking innovative solutions to drive success in any endeavor. I welcome you, Kanishka. And in this engaging session, Ms. Kanishka will deep dive into the world of cloud computing, sharing invaluable insights, best practices, and real-life examples. And I am sure that all the faculty members who are in the session will have the opportunity to learn about cloud computing on business intelligence and explore the tips and tricks to maximize their effectiveness. So I welcome you once again, Kanishka, and handing over the session to you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Shashank. Thank you for the introduction. So let me share my screen. So a very warm good evening, good morning to all of you. So in this slide, we are going to discuss about Next Gen Employability Program, which is about creating a future-ready workforce. So this program is all about being the change and making the change, and to create awareness among all the faculty members who have joined this call. So today I'm going to conduct a case study on data warehousing and ETL for retail analytics. So data warehousing, as I've explained earlier also in this call, data warehousing is a system used for reporting and data analytics. And data warehousing is a process for collecting and managing data from varied sources. So it is a superset of data mart. Just like data warehouse can be treated as a book, data mart are its individual chapters. So that is another topic we are going to not cover in here, data mart, but data warehousing definitely, and ETL we are going to cover for retail analytics. ETL is extract, transform, and load for the basics. And retail analytics, here we are going to cover about retail mart, which falls under retail analytics, basic company that we are going to discuss here. Okay. So in this slide, I'm going to cover the following content: overview, challenge, solution, benefits, and outcomes. Overview. So overview is basically, we are going to, as said before, we are going to discuss about a company called Retail Mart, who implemented a data warehousing and extract, transform, load solution to drive business intelligence and analytics. So Retail Mart aimed here to gain insights into customer behavior, what kind of behavior the customer possesses through its analytics, optimized inventory management, and enhanced decision-making process. So this is our overview. Now, business goals and problem statement. So basically, I'm from data modeling background, but we'll be discussing about data warehousing also. So let's talk here about the problem statement that Retail Mart faced while implementing a data warehousing and extract, transform, load solution. So the following problems occurred while implementing data warehousing and extract, transform, load solution. Number one, data silos. What do we mean by data silos is data was present in separate systems like CRM or ERP or SAP, and it was not present in a centralized database. So that was an issue in data warehousing. Okay. Second problem statement was data quality and consistency. Data quality was low and consistency was not there. It was inconsistent data. They had to deal with inconsistent data. So that was the second problem statement. The third problem statement was timeliness of data. That is, there was no access to real-time data. So that was also one of the issues which led to their third problem statement. Now, fourth problem statement was scalability and performance. So scalability means basically dealing with large amount of data, being scalable, and performance is regarding the processing requirements. So they had to deal with. Sorry, is there someone speaking?
Oh, sir.
Okay, I can continue.
Yes, you can continue, Kanishka.
Yeah. So these are the four main challenges: data silos, data quality and consistency, timeliness of data, and scalability and performance. So next is, how do we deal with these problem statements? So Retail Mart implemented a comprehensive data warehousing solution and ETL solution to overcome the data management challenges. The key components of the solutions were data warehousing, data extraction, data transformation, data loading, data modeling and schema design, analytics and reporting. So there are various tools. I am not sure if you are aware of those tools or not, through which these tasks have been carried out. So for example, we have analytics and reporting. We'll start with the bottom and reach to the top. So analytics and reporting tool is Power BI, Microsoft tool Power BI, through which analytics and reporting is conducted. This all are stages actually in the data engineering process. So data warehousing is one stage, data extraction, transformation, and loading is another stage, data modeling and schema design is another stage, and analytics and reporting is another stage. So the tool for analytics and reporting is Power BI. And for data modeling and schema design, there are various tools such as Irwin. I'll be showing Irwin a basic data model that I've created for you all on Irwin, as I have the license of it. So next is another tool called SAP Power Designer. Then we have Visual Paradigm. So these are some of the tools that we have in data modeling and schema design. Then we have extract, transform, loading, and data warehousing. For these, we have various tools such as Azure Synapse Analytics, part of Azure Suite, then Informatica, IBM's Data Stage, etc. So there are various tools available in the market, but license of each of these tools is quite costly. So we cannot, if Ramya ma'am was here, she would have shown you how to access the cloud via Azure Suite. So that was one of the use cases for this presentation. Now,
Hi,
I
Kanishka.
would, yeah.
Just for information, Ramya has joined the call.
Okay. So let me quickly wrap it up. Then Ramya can join. Ramya can quickly start over that.
Yes, sure.
Okay. So RetailMart implemented a comprehensive data warehousing and ETL solution to overcome their data management challenges. So we discussed the various tools that are here in data warehousing, data extraction, transformation, loading, data modeling. So I'll be showing in the end about data modeling tool, whose job is to basically convert the data elements and relationships and show the visual representation of them basically. And data warehousing, we all got to know data warehousing is what it is. So data warehousing is a process for collecting and managing data from various sources. So here it is done with the help of tools such as Microsoft SQL Server or Azure Synapse Analytics or Informatica or IBM's Data Stage in companies like RetailMart. So data extraction basically is done via it is an ETL process which was employed to extract data from various sources such as transactional databases, ERP systems, CRM platforms, and external data feeds. Data transformation was basically extracted data underwent transformations. So whatever the data we extracted, it has to go through some transformation or rules have to be applied. So those include data cleansing, normalization, aggregation, and enrichment. Now, what do we mean by these terminologies? These are heavy terminologies, and all of them have a quite big scope in when we try to deal with them. So data cleansing can be done via pandas or Python, using Python, or it can be done via IBM SPSS statistics tool. So that is one thing. And how is it done is if there are missing data, those missing data can be removed. Then if there are nulls, then those nulls can be removed. If there is missing duplicate data, that duplicate data has to be removed. Then we have to calculate the missing columns or missing fields via the mean, median, and mode values. That is how data cleansing is done in some cases. Normalization is pretty simple. Normalization is the process of designing the database in such a way that it reduces data redundancy without sacrificing integrity. So normalization generally goes up to third normal form. That third normal form is quite simple, not that simple. It is made up of second normal form and then the third normal form condition. So after that, the complexity of the normalization increases and the performance decreases. So generally, we prefer only normalization up to third normal form. Aggregation is done via SQL, that is group by min-max and so on. So this kind of things are done via aggregation. And enrichment is cleaning also, which is part of the silver layer of Azure suite. Azure suite as in the delta layers, you might have heard of delta layers, bronze, silver and gold. So this silver layer is basically comprised of enrichment. So this is done via ETL tools such as Azure Data Factory or SQL Server Integration Services. So data loading after the transformation and extraction happens, data is loaded to a large database or data warehouse. That is what completes the ETL process. And data modeling is then started. Data modeling is started at the second stage of data warehouse. So data warehouse, it is basically visual representation of data elements and relationships between them. So I will show the data modeling, how it is done, how the entities, how the attributes are there, how the relationships are there with the help of the tool Irwin after this presentation. So now we discussed about the problem statement and the solution. Now it's time to and the challenges. Now it's time to discuss about the benefits and outcomes. So the benefits and outcomes are as follows. Number one, we got integrated data. Earlier, the data was in silos. Now we got integrated data. So that is one outcome. Another outcome is data quality and consistency. Now data quality and consistency was high. So we removed inconsistent data and we got consistency. Timely analytics. Timely analytics is we got real-time access to data. So that is something which helped us in timely analytics, scalability and performance. Scalable data, we were dealing with large volumes of data. So, and processing was an issue earlier, but now that is not. Self-service analytics and improved decision making. As a result, the company did the company Retail Mart was empowered with improved decision making. And self-service analytics is about business users gaining self-service access to intuitive analytics and reporting tools, enabling them to explore data independently, generate insights, and make data-driven decisions. So this is about everything about Retail Mart, how Retail Mart dealt with some of the problems, also dealt with data warehousing and analytics solution, which became critical to the success of their any retailer. Now let's go through. Okay, I have attached few links of Udemy courses. I will paste them in the chat also. So these Udemy courses, you can go through them and learn more about data warehouse and ETL. Thank you. So let's go through quickly about the Irwin tool, data modeling tool, Irwin. So this is a basic entity, employee neon and department neon. We all know how the employee department relationship goes. That is, department is basically there is one-to-many relationship between department and employee. A single department can have many employees, and if vice versa we try to do it, one employee belongs to one department. So here we have few, this employee neon is the entity and department neon is another entity, which is shown here under table section in the model explorer. If we further drill down, we will see columns, which is department ID, department location, department name. Indexes show the keys or the primary key of that particular table. So we have next table, employee neon. Employee neon has further columns, department ID, employee ID, name, department ID being the foreign key. And this is a non-identifying relationship because the primary key of the parent entity, that is department neon, is falling under the foreign key of child entity. So this makes the non-identifying relationship. There are other relationships also, like view materialized relationship, identifying relationship. So if I choose identifying relationship, so you see the difference here. That is, the foreign key is now part of primary key of the child entity. So this is an identifying relationship. But generally, we chose non-identifying relationship because of the we don't want foreign key as part of child entity. We want it as part of foreign key only. So we delete it. And here it is again brought as foreign key of the child entity. So there are further many things, like in the view, we will go through table, column, primary keys. These are few options. In the diagrams, we have to see the properties of the model explorer as well. So if we want, there are a lot of things in the while building a model actually. This is just a basic model. So while building a model, we have these two tables. Then the database table type, if not exists, create table if not exists. That is that if this checkbox is ticked, then we will be able to create table if it does not exist in the target database. Otherwise, it will be created anyhow. So next is the main features of this Irwin tool are one is into actions, the reverse engineering feature and the forward engineering feature, which is done with the help of a target database. So the database here could be, say, if I do forward engineering here, and I chose Databricks as my default database. So in Databricks, we do not generate keys. So I will be removing these as my from my options, and use if not exists is selected here. That is, it will create table if it doesn't exist, and if it exists, then also it can create table if I select this option, use if exists. We have further these options. These are all fine. Referential integrity is gone from here now because I have not selected it, and other constraints are there. So I have selected one entity from the diagram. That is why it showed me this pop-up. So if I select both the entities, it will generate SQL script for the database for both of them. See, so this is the SQL script that is generated, and that is then provided to the data engineering team from here. So we have table department neon with department ID, which is integer as data type and not null. Then department name, which is varchar 20. Department location, which is also varchar 20. Varchar is variable characters. Integer can have only numeric values. Varchar can have alphanumeric values. So create table employee neon, same values, integer, varchar, integer, not null. Or not null means that either the key is primary key or it is a foreign key. So that is something also that has to be noted down. click on generate, it will connect to the database Databricks. Databricks should be open and in your PC, and then these two tables will be shown in the Databricks. Since I selected Databricks as my primary database. So this is reverse engineer. Reverse engineer means if my database is Databricks, the tables from Databricks will be brought into my Irwin tool. And there are a lot of options here, but another popular one is report designer. So report designer is basically, we have a new report, we want to generate a new report. So we have to select few things here. We have to select the table. In table, we have to select the properties. In properties, since it is a physical model, so I will select physical name, which is my table name. Then I will select column, because I want column also to be displayed in my report. So in that, I will have properties. Properties also not everything, but only those which are necessary, like physical name, physical data type, null option. So if you had any user defined property, that could also come. But as of now, I have not given any user defined property, so that is not here. So these are the three options that I'm selecting as of now. And now I will run report. So you see this is my report as of now for this particular model, which has employee table, department table, their fields, and filter by option, null option, that is not null or null, whether that field can have not null or null value, and physical data type, whether it can have integer, varchar, date, timestamp, date, etc. So here there are only two tables, two data types, integer and varchar, based on the fields. So I can download it in any format. Either it could be exported to CSV format to this particular path, or it can be downloaded to HTML format, or it can be downloaded to PDF format. So if you want to see a PDF and open after exporting, then it will open the file PDF that has been generated. These are the table of contents, and this is the everything, table, columns, data types, and nullability of these. And finally, index. So this is a very short report. Generally, these kind of reports don't happen because the reports are quite large in nature because of the models. So this is a very short report. So these are few of the features that I wanted to show you. And we have, if you want to see any data type here, we have properties, model properties. And in the table, we have column data type here. We can tick mark it. And now you see the difference. Earlier, the data type was not available here, but now it can be seen. So this is somewhat basic demo of the data modeling tool, Irwin, which I've given you. So now I think I would like Ramya ma'am to take over from here for the Azure cloud part. That's all.
Thank you, Kanishka ma'am, for your valuable inputs. And over to you, Ramya ma'am.
Good morning, all, and I'm very sorry to say that my Azure portal is not working. So, I mean, my official one I cannot show, but I have been given the volunteer one. Shashank, I have just sent an email also to you. So from the morning it was not working. Yeah.
Should I add this thing like to the subscription?
Maybe.
Yes, I will be adding.
Kanishka, I have sent
Yeah,
an
I did
email.
accept it. I did accept it, Shashank. That is for application, not for the portal. Azure portal I need. Then only I can show that. That's like Azure applications it is showing me. Azure portal it is not allowing me. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Mahesh, we can, if Kanishka is done with the session, we can Ramya is facing an issue with her Azure portal, and we can take the feedback and their faculty participation, and we can wind up the volunteer engagement session.
Okay.
Any
Fine.
faculty member like to say something about the session?
Any doubts, faculty?
Maybe if
having
needed,
before?
I can, give a theoretical part of it, but theoretical is not going to help that much. So, but still I can give overview of theoretical, how does it works and what does it do, kind of.
Yes, Ramya, you can give the theoretical to faculties also. That work.
That will be helpful, Ramya.
Okay, that I will do, but I'll set the context very clearly. That will not be of great use, but you can get the information about how does it work basically. Okay, so I'll just share. One minute. Hope you could see my screen, right? Is my screen visible? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Ramya, you're audible.
Yeah. Okay, fine then. Yeah, I will go ahead then. So, thank you all for attending the session, and hope this would be a great use for you. So with this session, no, if you try to make use of any learnings, continual learnings or continual practice with Azure portal, it will be of very helpful for you. So you can create a when you give your credit card details, and you can create your own account in the Azure portal for free. I mean, that gives 200 credits to you. So 200 credits is something like $138 or something like that. That will be given to your account for some quite 48 days or 1.5 months, or even 3 months time also would be given, depending upon the selection subscriptions what you're making. That's for free. You can do a trial version. Like you can go ahead and create portal.azure.com. That's the thing you have to go. You just go ahead and create your account, and you can practice anything and everything, whatever you wanted to do. So this also you can go ahead and create. So anything for that matter, cloud, we are basically talking about every area we are talking about cloud, right? Previously, we all be having or knowing about the data centers. Okay, so data centers is a big machineries placed in one area, and that will be connected physically. Okay, so now also we do have data centers across the world. So those areas have been virtualizedly given to us. So we don't know where these data centers are existing, but it is in US, East US, West Europe, East Europe, all the areas, including Central India, Eastern India, and then Asia Pacific regions. We don't have it in China because China don't use Azure because they use their own portal. And we all know, right? China and Japan is always a separated country. So they use their own. So Azure is in all these countries, Azure and AWS and even Google also. Google also, we do have a cloud. So many clouds are there, but major, these are the three players, major players we call. So what basically cloud is meaning to us? So virtually we are combining the fields. This is completely again going and configuring physically, but from here remotely I'm doing all the things and everything is available remotely. And going forward in future also, virtual desktops are going to be there. Everything will be in your hand virtually. So that's what is the motto. So the cloud is something like this. Okay, so we will be all taking things around us, across us, but in a virtual format, right? So something like our digital money. Okay, so that's what is the cloud platform. Why we say platform? Because that's an area we are hosting all our environments. So hosting is nothing but we are putting all our needs. Say for example, server is a person who serves for us, whether it is a Linux or is a Windows or whatever it is, that we will be putting on the virtual machine. Okay, where previously we do have a physical machine, right? Now we all be having a virtual machine. Okay, so in this part, we do have many facilities, right? So now we all deal with data. So data, everywhere is data, including your bank data, your mobile data, your whatever your everything is online now, right? For you also, you will be taking online classes. So everything is on our hand. So everything is data. And so obviously we will be having two prominent things which needs to be concentrated. One is the security for the data. Second is the accessibility of the data. And third is the availability of the data. Okay, so these are all the primary things we need to focus. So in this Azure Data Factory, how this Azure Data Factory is going to help us, or what is this Azure Data Factory basically? So from the name itself, you know that it's a factory. Okay, so basically I'm saying in a very layman's term, I'm not using any technical or I'm not using any jargons here. So I wanted to make it very simple. So that's the reason I'm talking like this. So I think it will be helpful for you people to understand. So that's the reason I'm making it very short. So if you feel that you're not understanding, or if you feel that this is not required, you can let me know so that I can skip this. I can go into the technical details of it. Okay, so feel free to interrupt me for any questions. So second, so basically, so this is a factory. Factory, what we are doing is we are collecting the data and we will be cleansing the data. That is, we will be analyzing the data. That is collected data. The collected data will be analyzed. Okay, the collected data will be analyzed and cleansed for its usage. Okay, it's something like that. We can compare this with a factory. We are collecting water and we are just analyzing the water, and we are purifying the water, and we are putting them into the bottles and we are serving it. Same works here. Okay, so here also we will be creating a pipelines, that is Azure, from where I wanted to say, for example, endpoint can be anything, whether it might be my desktop or whatever it might be. From wherever I wanted to collect data, yes, I could able to do it. Whether only one criteria it has to be connected, or it has to be having a connection for my cloud. That compatibility, what you say, right? Like compatibility. So if my device is compatible with my cloud, then it is easy for me to go ahead and do a collection from anywhere and everywhere. Okay, so it's not matter that like I wanted to collect the data from my phone. Yes, I can do it. I can from my laptop. Yes, I can do it. Or from some other, say for example, from your college. Yes, we can do it. So that main server or main area where the data dump is there. So from there, we can able to, that server or that computer has to have a communication with the cloud. or compatibility with the cloud. So now also we do have now. So now there'll be a question. Okay, so everything is in cloud or what? So somebody is in on-prem, right? On-prem is nothing but physical machines. Say, for example, in your college, if something is available physically, they're all called as on-prem for us. On-prem for the cloud people. Okay, so on the premises, that is called as on-prem. So how I will be connecting Azure cloud with the on-prem devices? Okay, so the connectivity, the network connections, VNet peering, everything. Peering just we need to create, right? Like peering we need to create. Same here also we will be doing. We will be creating an Azure Data Factory. First, anything in cloud, you have to start with the base. Okay, the tenant, from which tenant you belong to, that is very important. So this is nothing but which group or which domain you belong to. That's the first point. So after that, okay, I belong to ey.com domain. Okay, so after that, what I'm going to do? So with that tenant, my base tenant is ey.com. So in the ey.com, which group I belong to? That I know, I need to know, because we do have many groups, right? So that is called as resource group creation. Okay, we need to create a resource group, basic. That is basic, we need to create a group. So I'll be creating and before this, I will be creating a user ID authentication. Those are all a higher level. So that will be already default created for you. Okay, so you don't need to worry about it. Once your tenant is there, your tenant will be having your AD. You would have heard, right? Authentication director. And ADS we say. So authentication director. Okay, in the federation mode, we will be authenticating. That and all is a little different topic. I don't want to go there because you will get confused. So authentication directory. So AD, you have to go, you have to get authenticated. And then if your authentication is fine, then you will be creating a resource group, right? Like which group I belong to, or this is my base. Okay, resource group is something like your base land for you, given to you, allotted plot for you. Okay, where you can go ahead and start creating many things. In that, one of the things is Azure Data Factory we will be creating. So once I create this Azure Data Factory, what I am going to do is I will be creating an Azure pipeline. Okay, so to which data or to which I'm going to collect data, or from where I'm going to collect data, I will be creating a pipeline. I already said, right, like you have to create a peering. End-to-end connection you have to create. Then only I can able to transfer something, right? So this pipeline is very virtual. So virtually I'll be creating a communication pipeline between one device to another device, and I will be connecting. And once the connection is up, the peering is up and running, then I will be pulling the data. So you can copy the data. Once you can copy the data, you can transfer the data, everything you can do. Okay, so we will be creating a web server from that side, and ADF can be acting as it's a kind of puller, pulling the data, right? So it can be acting as a collector. Okay, so that is how it works. So you see pipelines we create active data sets are nothing but what is the file? Say, for example, I'm creating an Excel file or a JSON file. What is my data? Data set is nothing but what data I'm handling inside the pipeline is called as a data set. And then linked services. Linked services is what is associated with this communication. Okay, so this pipeline, what are all the devices or what are all the virtual items connected to this link, this service pipeline, basically this pipeline. So they are all called linked services. And data flow, we all know how the data is flowing, whether end to end or this is redundantly flowing, bidirectional, unidirectional, all those things. And integration runtime, this is very important because so once I have the pipeline created for me, I have to understand that how the runtime it is going to be. Because I cannot make it run for all the day, right? And I could not take it as a priority. Say, for example, some backup files I'm copying or some backup things I'm doing, that cannot be done as a priority because I could not crunch the network or I could not occupy the network. Right, the speed should not go low because of my activity, or this will come and block my network things. So that areas I have to set the run times. Okay, so this much time you have to run. So within this time frame, you are not able to complete it, please fail. Okay, that is how I set it. So this is very important. And 2 days, 1 day, how many days it is, depending upon the data, we will be setting the time. Okay, so the runtime is very, very important for us, and it has to be, the priority has to be set in such a way that what is the data we are copying and how important that is. Depending upon that only you have to set that, transfer, basically. And then this is the orchestration flow. So how does the data, the source, say for example, from my computer or from on-premises network. So that's what I said, no, which is laying in your, say for example, from your college server, I'm copying some data. So that is called on-premise server or on-premise DB. So from there I'm doing it, and then external data, something, whatever I want. This is completely outside cloud. If I'm doing something, they're all called external data. Okay, so I'll just copy all of them to ingestion mode. That is what ingest, right? Data is completely ingested into the cloud. So why the storage blob is coming into picture? Storage blob is nothing but your account. Okay, so account creation will be there. So in that account creation only the authentications will be happening. I said no, the authentications will be happening. Okay, this guy can write, or this data can be, I can allow this data or not. Basically, this checklist or to your understanding, if somebody from computer or there, like you have this, right? Like gateway, checker, gatekeeper. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. A gatekeeper. Okay, this kind of gatekeeper it acts. Okay, so from there the data is ingested, and then from there Azure synapses, we say. Okay, these are all the things which is inside the data factory. The works happening not inside the data factory, but these are all the works associated with the data factory. Okay, so the storage comes into picture, and then so these are all the components. So you can see that these two components only belongs to data factory, but these are all the activities associated with the data factory. Okay, so then you have the data storage, where you have the data will be collected. Okay, this is the way it goes, and that gets collected in the data storage area. So that configuration comes along in the data factory. Okay, so everything will be stored in there. So in there only we will be analyzing it. Okay, so from there, yeah, sorry. Some question? Somebody was asking something? Hello? Okay, fine. Yeah, so from there, you will be analyzing this data. I said, no, whether this is a good data, bad data, cleansing, basically the cleansing of data, and then the data will be visualized. So that is what is the orchestration flow. So here also they are saying this authentication mechanism works in these two areas, because the data, once the data is collected, right? So the data is analyzed, and then before displaying the data, from which user it is coming. So it is not exactly here this authentication is happening. So for all the process here only, this area only, actually this area only the authentication happens. Not only here, till here the authentication is happening. So that is what is this diagram says. Not here. Here is not the area authentication is happening. From here, from starting from the connection only, the authentication will be happening. So Active Directory is both the areas. Okay, which data to keep, which data to neglect, which data to do. It all depends upon the codes you are giving. So on all of this, the data is collected, copied. Okay, once you wanted to cleanse the data, you have to write a program, whether you are going to use Apache PySpark or whichever. Hadoop is not that great use of now. We are using Apache PySpark. Okay, so with that only we will be writing a code, or in we do have Azure Databricks. So with that SQL codes only we can directly write, and we can cleanse the data. So with any of the things we will be applying, and then we'll be cleansing the data, and then will be final. You will be getting the final output. Okay, so basically, if somebody asks what is Azure Data Factory is doing, nothing. It is just collecting the data, storing the data, and then it is giving an, I'm sorry, it is giving an option to cleanse the data. And again, you wanted to store it in the cloud only, you can store, or you can give it back to your on-premise server or the external server where you have collected the data or where you wanted to pass it basically. So that area you can do it. So that is what the data factory's work is. Okay, so the association, these are all the associations, Synapse, Azure Databricks, these are all the associated components along with Databricks. Any questions still here?
Yes, faculty, any doubts you are having, please ask to Ramya related to the data factory. Feedback, any doubts, any feedback you want to give, you can please give it in the chat box. Okay, I think Ramya, faculty is not having any doubts.
Okay. Yeah, I know
Okay.
this would be a boring session for them because no, if I show
no,
something,
such a
yeah.
valuable information you have presented
No
and you have
problem.
tell us to all it will be getting benefited, like what the things going with the data factory that
Okay.
actually things they are getting now.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Yes.
At least if you could get some idea, that's a motto of this. Because no, if I'm not able
Yes.
to show practically, it
No,
will be a little
what
tough
I
to
will do now,
understand.
I will perform the same steps. We will be performing the same practical which you have explained to us, and I will be making them hands-on on this thing.
Yes, yes. Actually, previously
Definitely.
also we had done hands-on. So with that videos and all you can use and we can show them that.
So some
all anything.
like one question has been arise from in the chat, like what does the
Yes.
compatibility with the cloud mean?
Compatibility. Okay. So say for example, my system, I wanted to take it to cloud. So the basic requirement is my system has to have a security. Okay, that security has to be there. Any system cannot be connected, and my system from which I'm accessing has to have path. Say for example, from this system, if what I'm presenting from this system, if I want to open, yes, I could, because on top of it only I'm running the cloud. Say for example, I wanted to connect to your system. How will I connect? I have to have some VPN connectivity, or I have to have some physical connectivity, right? So that is what is the compatibility I'm talking about. So most of the time it is a virtual connectivity we will be making. So that's a VPN, we say basically VPN, peering, VNet. You would have all heard of it, right? So those terminologies only I'm talking about. So first, your system would be secured. It is not that every system cannot be connected, right? Like VNet. I wanted to connect to your college local net or local intranet. I have to be authenticated, right? My system has to be secured. I have to be authenticated. The same applies here. Okay, so that kind of basic checks. This is not like a cloud specific checks, but it's a basic checks. Your security, everything is fine, and then I'll be authenticated to your local VPN. From that local VPN, yes, you have a cloud. I can connect to that cloud also. It's something like that.
Okay, hope so. Faculty, your doubts has been clear. You got the answer.
So this is what entirely happens in the file. So from my local, say for example, from my local, I have copied this file. I will be linking a service. This is the pipeline. So this entire thing is the pipeline, but this is basically the pipeline. So created from there, the data will be copied to the SQL DB, and that it will be staying there in that SQL DB for quite some time. for whichever the time I wanted to. So from there, I will be accessing the data. Or I wanted to store the data or archive the data. Yes, I can do it in the cloud. So this is how the pipeline looks. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you all.
So
any questions, kindly let me know.
Any other questions, faculty you're having with you, please, you can ask to Ramya or Kanishka ma'am. You can unmute yourself also instead of putting it into chat box. You can unmute yourself. You can provide your feedback also. Okay. So please provide your feedback in the chat box or you can unmute yourself. And thank you, Ramya. Thank you, Kanishka ma'am, for giving us a valuable information related to the data factory and data models. Like, hope so every each faculty gets some new information and they will be taking, they will be getting some takeaway from you both. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself. I'm Ramya. Yeah, I'm Ramya and I'm working with EY for the past 2 years. I have overall 17 years of experience in the infra management. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ramya. Thank you, Kanishka ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Bye.
Bye. Okay, faculty, like it was a great learning from both of them. And the theoretical part, which I want to explain to you, it's been explained by this by the Ramya ma'am only. So hope so you got your concept clear and hope so you are not
Magesh?
having any doubts. Yes.
Magesh, sorry to jump in now. I'm sorry, I just joined. Do you able to get any feedback? So is the voluntary session is done or it's still?
Yes, it's been completed right now only. So most yes, feedback has been given by some of faculties also. Like okay, so I think we should take 15 minutes of break and then we will be starting data factory practicals and whatever things you have learned till now by Ramya ma'am, which we will be doing in practical manner and we will be seeing like how the things works with the practical. So hope so. Let us connect after 15 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Yeah, meantime, Magesh and all the participants, I'll also share one feedback link in the chat box, but just give me 2 minutes time. So once you are back from your break, you can also open this feedback link and you can also fill this feedback link. And this feedback is particularly for this voluntary session or this expert talk, not about this entire 5 days of session, but this is only for this last 1.5 hour session. So feel free to share your feedback in this Google feedback form. I will put it in the chat box and you can also open and do that like once you are back from your break, but just give me 2 minutes time. I will put that in the chat box. But yeah, over to you, Magesh. Or yeah, you can take a break now and the session will be started after 15 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Yes, I will be putting timer of 15 minutes and we will be starting after 15 minutes. Okay, we should start now. It's 15 minutes gets over. Okay. Tina, you there on the call?
Yes, Mahesh, I'm here.
Yes, yes. Okay. I'm starting this data factor practical.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yes. So let us start the practical. So for that, we need to go to, actually we were at storage account, right? Oh, sorry, really sorry. So let us now open the storage account, which we have created. Okay. So this is the essential things and properties and the capability of storage account, what it, all the things you can monitor from here. And this is the data storage. Okay. Data storage in which you will be having the feature or which you will be having the applications in the storage account from which you can take a use of it. So we have already gone through the concept of containers. So to create a container, you need to click on container button under this data storage. And there is one plus button is there. You need to click on that container plus button. And here you can create any type of container. Okay. Let us include, let us give name to this container as an input container. Input container. Okay. And yes, if you remember this, like the anonymous access level while configuring the storage account, we have not checked that one, right? So here, so this access level will be not enabled, okay, because of at the time of configuration, we have not chosen this option, okay. So just create this container. So this is how I have created container under my storage account. Okay. Now under this container, if I want to upload some type of file, okay. So I want to upload some type of file. That file can be a structural or unstructured. So how I will be uploading that? I need to go to this upload button. And here you can upload that file. Okay. Now let us do one thing. Let me upload one HTML file itself. Okay. Let us upload one HTML file. Or you can upload any file. It doesn't mean like I'm uploading HTML. You need to upload HTML only. So you can upload any file. So let us upload this HTML file. Let me upload this frame one. Okay. And click on upload. So this is how I have uploaded one file with the name frame1.html. So I can upload different files in that container, and it just work like the folder, like same like you're creating folders in your computer or in your drive, and you're storing some kind of related data in that folder. The same way here also it is being work. Okay, so you can upload any file. So let us upload one more file. Okay, let us upload this data factory text file also. Okay, so let us, I have uploaded two files in this. One is data factory and one is frame1. Okay, now what we will do, we will and here you can see the modification date, the activity logo has been saved, like whatever things you will be doing on the storage account, the each and everything will be getting map up. Okay, so here is the access tier, like hot inferred is been selected. Why so? Because at the time of configuration we have selected this access tier. What is the type of file? So like I have tell you, like I have told you, like the each and every data will be stored in the block format only. So the type of file will be block type. The size you can see, and lease state. What is this lease state actually? That I will be explaining. So this lease state is nothing but, so just now let us open this frame1 file. Okay, click on this frame1 file where you can monitor this related sorry, you can monitor the related thing to with this HTML. You can monitor from here. Okay. If you want to see overview, if you want to overview this file, you can see you can overview from going with edit option. If you want to generate a key, okay, if you want to give a key access to this particular file, like whoever having this key, they can only access this file. Okay, so you can create, you can generate a SAS key, which is shared access signature. Okay, so this is the shared access signature where you can generate one key from here. So let us create one key also. Let us generate one key. So by default, the key permissions given to this file is only of read. So you can change those permission from here also. You can add, create, write, delete, permanent delete, tags, mutable, storage. You can change those accessibility of this file from here also. Okay. After generating this key, you can define the time limit also, like at what time stamp this key will be working. Okay. So it will be start from let's say from today, and it will get end up of accessing this with the key by tomorrow. Okay, so such a time limit we can give it to this key also. And if you want to allow some IP address to this key, like if you want such thing, like those who are having the key, but they should be allowed with some particular IP address only. So you can allow with you can do that operation here from here also. And some allow protocols will be given, like if you want to allow with only HTTPS URLs, then you can configure with HTTP only, or you can configure with HTTPS only. Okay, so those are the things which you can see from here. And when you click on overview, you will be getting one URL for this particular file. So just copy this URL and go to the browser, open new tab, and paste this URL in the browser. Okay, so see some error, so XML file does not appear, and to have any style information associated with the document tree is shown below. Okay, so some error it is showing, right? We can't see this file with this URL. Okay, for that we need to change, or we need to define some policies. Okay, so what is this lease status also? Let me explain you that thing also. When I click on this acquire lease, so when this lease function is been active, that means it is been connected to the storage account, and no one can do the edits on this thing. Okay, no one can delete it, no one can make some changes. It totally gets into the lease format. Okay, in the private mode. Okay, and to break this lease, there is one option is there. You can click on break lease, where you can, after breaking this lease, this file you can edit it, either you can make some changes on it. Okay, so now let us create a policy for particularly for this file only, like frame1.html. So for checking the policy, making the policy, you need to click on access policy, and here you need to add some policy. So how the policy I will be adding here. So let us give name to this policy, and I want to add some policy like read, add, create, write, delete, and paste. So all the things I have added. I can give start time, expiry time. It is mandatory. It is not mandatory. It is optional thing. Click on OK. And now here you can see one policy has been getting added. Okay. And I'm saving this policy. So here in notification, they successfully updated the storage container. So what it is been done here, I have write some rule for this particular file frame1.html. Okay, and I have added this. I have added this policy to this frame1, and now I need to add this policy to this frame1 HTML file. Okay, so what I will be doing, I will be going to this generate SARS. In this generate SARS, I will be choosing my key, signing key, and I will be storing store access policy. So see here, whatever rules I'm defining in the access policy, it will be shown here. Okay, so this is the rule I have defined. And here you can see all the 5 permissions automatically getting granted. So now I will be choosing this HTTPS and HTTP. Okay, and I will be generating SAS token and URL. So here one key will be getting generated. One key, two keys actually getting generated. One key is of blob SAS token, which is called as token key, and one key will be the SAS URL. Okay, so what is this SAS URL? You need to just copy that URL and let us find whether now the HTML file is visible or not. So see,
Mahesh
after
sir,
creating the policy, yes.
Mahesh sir, sir, one ma'am have asked, can you please put screenshots in between what you are doing? Screenshots.
Okay, fine. I'm going very slowly, like one by
Okay.
one step. If anyone having any doubt, please interrupt me in between, so I can repeat the steps. Either otherwise, I can go back and I can repeat all the things one more time. Is that okay for all the faculty? Yes.
Excuse me, sir. How just share the screen, sir. What you are showing, that that screenshot. How you have got, sir? Frame one touch. This one, sir.
This one, na, ma'am.
You created, uploaded. No, sir. I've seen that.
Hello.
Not this one, sir. Not this one.
Huh.
Our previous one, sir. Once you have uploaded this screen, this shot, how you got it, sir?
So actually, the thing here happening is what? So first thing what we have done, we have uploaded one file, 2 files, right? Let me start
Yes, sir.
from this only. So we have uploaded 2 files. One file is data factory. One file is of text type, and another file was HTML file. Okay. So this
Yes.
HTML file I have uploaded for some purpose only to show, like if you upload some HTML code, like static code in the storage account, it will be taking as a website itself, and it will be hosting. It will be giving you some customized domain name, like for that, for seeing that website. Okay. So generally, what is happening here? So when I upload any file in this storage account and under this container with the name input. Okay, so what is happening here? So all the security features will be getting applied to this file, which we have demanded at the time of configuration of storage account. So by default, what the thing I have included to my this storage account with the name Mahesh123. So whatever the default security is there, please apply that default security to this storage account. This was my demand to this Microsoft Azure, right? So automatically, when I will be uploading some file in this storage account, it will be showing. It will be that security will be automatically getting applied to this file also. So when I click on this data factory also, so here you can see, just copy this, and this is the URL from where you can access those files. Okay. So now you can see the public access is not permitted. So here you can see the public access is not permitted. Why so it is not permitted? Because at the time of configuration, we have not checked this public access to be permitted. Okay. So the access we needed is only with some key only, right? If you remember, there is one key functional was there. So the file which I can access with the help of only key only, that I have demanded to this Microsoft Azure. And this is why the file, if I go to this URL and I'm try to access this URL, it is not allowing me to access this file. It will be showing some error. Okay. And if I want to access this file, I need to create one key. Okay. I need to create one key. So for creating key, I will be clicking on that file. I will be going to this generate shared access signature, and I will be choosing the key which I have created. Okay. So, but for choosing some key, we need to define some access policy also, right? So from where I can define those access policy? So in the settings, you will be going to this access policy and you will be defining some policies to your files or so some policies to your data. Okay. So to add a policy, you can add it from here. Okay. And mutable, immutable block storage means what? Like if you want to mute, is there any block? That block you don't want to mute it, like you don't want to edit or update that file, then for that you will be adding the policy. And the store access policy is what? Like whatever data you are storing in this container, you will be defining some policies for accessing that file. Okay. So same thing I have done here. I have created one access policy in which I have given some permission. What are the permission? I have given permission of read, access, control, write, delete, and I stands for integration. Okay, integrate also, immutable or immutable. Okay, so these are the things, or these are the permissions I have given to this policy, and I want to now configure on which file I want to add this policy. So this is how I am configuring my storage account into hybrid mode. Okay, like some of the part I am keeping it as a private, which cannot be accessed by anyone, and some of the part I'm keeping it as a public, which can be accessible with some of the key only. So this is how I have configured this. I'm categorizing my data. Okay. And this is the example I can tell you about hybrid cloud, where some of the data is used for public mode and some of the data is being kept for private. So now this frame one can only be accessed by someone who is having this key. So this URL is having, if they are having this URL, they can access it. Or if they want to integrate in some other applications, they need to use this token key. Okay. So this token key you will be getting from here. Go to SaaS and choose the policy which you have defined in this access policy. Choose this policy. Automatically this policy will be getting applied to this file, and choose this HTTP and HTTPS and generate a SaaS token. And automatically one token will be generated. Now this token you can use for integrating or for syncing purpose. And this blob/URL you can use to access this file via any browser. Okay. So this is the practical which we have performed of storage account. So I hope so everyone got this practical. Any doubt you people are having, please let me know. Anupama ma'am, do you want me to repeat the practical one more time?
The last option, please repeat. Last option only, which you explained just now.
This one, sir?
Yes, only this one. That
Okay.
when you how we can generate the key.
Okay, fine. Suppose let us now delete this file itself. Let us delete this and let us do one more time. Okay, it's been successfully deleted. Now let us upload one file in the container with the HTML file. So see now this frame3.html has been uploaded. Now the security which has been applied to this frame3.html will be by default security which I have applied to my storage account. Now if I go to this, go in this URL, if my public access was enabled, okay, then from this URL also I can see this one. But right now my public access is not permitted. So let us see, I can view this file. No, right? I can't view this file because why? So public access is not permitted by this Microsoft Azure. So to access this, what I will be doing, I will be generating one key. Okay. But for generating key, I need to define some access policy. Okay. So go to this access policy. Let me delete this also. Let me delete this policy. And right now we are not having any policy. Go to the access policy, click on add policy, give some name to this policy. Okay. And give the permissions or define a rule for this policy. You want to read, add, create, write, whatever things you want to define in this policy, you can define it. Okay. Now, this 4 I have selected, click on OK. So here you can see one policy has been getting generated and one successful message is also being shown in the notification. Now, we need to save this policy. Okay. After adding policy, the second step, we need to save this policy. So click on save button. Okay. After successfully saved of this policy, what you will be doing, you will be going to this overview mode. Okay. Where your all overview of data will be shown. Okay. Now, this policy which we have created, now this policy we want to apply to any one of these files. Okay. So let us apply to this frame3.html file. So to apply this file, what I am doing, I need to go to this generate shared access signature. Okay. So please mute yourself. So in this generate shared access signature, what I will be doing, I will be choosing the policy which I have defined, right? So this is the policy name of mine, and I will be using this allow protocol as HTTPS and HTTP, and I will be clicking on generate SaaS token and URL. And now this SaaS token is used for in the your coding part, like where you can integrate with this file with your web application or any type of application, and this URL is used for accessing this file. Okay, and I just copy that URL and just paste it in the browser so I can see my HTML file is being now accessed. Okay, so this is how the key feature works with this storage account. Okay, got the point?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts?
Excuse me, sir. Here you have taken an HTML file.
Yes.
What if we have taken the text file, then only the content will not be displayed in case we happen to paste the URL. Is it, sir?
No, see, ma'am, actually what is happening? So if you choose CSV file, if you choose any other third-party file, okay,
Yes, sir.
that file will be getting downloaded. If you paste it in the browser now, so what is the thing will be happening? It will be getting downloaded to the local computer.
Fine. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Yes, Anupama ma'am, are you clear out of your doubts also? Like you have cleared all the things? So if you are cleared, now paste the screenshot of your HTML or whatever container you are having with you, and you have uploaded something in that, paste the screenshot of this screen into the chat box, please. So then after we can move to the data factory practical. Take a screenshot and paste it in the chat box. Or some faculty might be having any doubt, they can unmute yourself and you can tell your doubts to me. Yes, only one screenshot I'm getting in the chat box. Please do the practical and take a screenshot and post it into the chat box. Almost 85 people have been joining right now. Should I repeat one more time for you people? Yes or no? Please let me know.
Yes, sir.
Should I repeat it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let us start from scratch itself. Creating storage account. Go to the storage, search storage word in this search bar, and use the first word, first services. Under services, you will be finding one storage account. Okay. So now you can find the amount of storage account which is being created by some of the students also, you can see here, and some of the faculties you can see here. See, this is the resource group which I have to tell you. So Ashish sir has created this storage account. Then Bhargav storage. Bhargav sir has created. Okay, only 2-3 people. Deepak sir has created storage account. FTPSA. Okay. So few of you have created the storage account. So those list I can find it from here also. Okay. Whatever resources has been created under this storage account, those resources of storage account I can find here. Now click on, I need to create a new storage account. I will be clicking on create button. Okay. So after clicking on create button, I will be choosing the resource group at which I want to put the storage account. So let us now choose the resource group which we have created in the morning, FTP AICT P7 day 3. Now for creating a storage account, some questionnaires will have been asked by this Microsoft Azure. So we need to give answer to those questions, like the questions like what will be the name of your storage account. So let us give some name. Okay, it is already taken. So let us choose something. Okay, so this is a storage account name I have given to my storage account. Now, where the storage account you want to deploy? So again, the question will be asked by this Microsoft account, and I will be giving answer like I want to deploy it in central US. What will be the what should be the performance of your storage account? So the performance I want it in standard form only because I will be using for general purpose. So if I choose this premium form, I will be getting some premium features by this Microsoft Azure. So the third question will be asked like what about the redundancy? Where you want to replicate your storage account? So I will be guiding with the answer. I want to locally redundant this storage account. Okay. So after doing this basic requirement, we will be moving to this next advanced part. Okay, where we will be keeping by default setting only. Okay, so already I have explained all those concepts to you all. So where I will be keeping as by default setting only, the security part. Then in networking, like how the networking access should be. So here I will be making sure like the storage account should be accessed through any public network. Okay, so this should be enabled here, and then I will be clicking on next. So here the recovery option and data protection monitoring will be done. I will be keeping by default setting whatever is being provided by Microsoft Azure. I will be keeping that only. So clicking on encryption, then tags, and then clicking on review. So this is how I have created one storage account. And here you can see I have created one storage account with the name Mahesh 422605. And this is how the deployment gets started. So this is the procedure for creating storage account. Now let us assume like we have created the storage account, which we have created previously. Okay, so this is my storage account. Okay. Meanwhile, it is being deployed. So don't let us not to waste time, and let us do further activity in the storage account only. Now, here I want to store some data in the storage account. For that, I can use these 4 options. Okay. How the data will be of mine. Okay. So, okay, it's been deployed. Now let me go to this new storage account, which we have created. So here I want to store some data. Okay. So I can store data, and that data I want to store it in one container. Okay. So here also you can see upload option is there. Okay. Where you can directly you can upload the file, and you can choose the container which you have created. Or if you haven't created any container, you can create it from here also. The same procedure you can do from here also and from here also. Okay. So I will be choosing on container, and I will be creating one container. See, now this container, I will be giving some name. Let us give name as an input. Okay, this input should be in lower case only. Okay, I will click on create button. So this is the input container I have created. Now I want to open this input container. So I will be clicking on this input container. And this is the monitoring part I can do with this input container. This is the dashboard for this input container. Now I want to add some file in this input container. So I will be clicking on upload button. Okay. After clicking on upload button, I will be clicking on browse for files. Okay. Where I will be uploading any of the HTML page. Suppose, and why HTML page? Because I want to show you like how to define policy, how to generate a key for accessing any file. Okay. So let us open this HTML file, and I will be uploading this HTML file in this container. So like this, like HTML file, you can upload any file. You can upload video, you can upload CSV, you can upload images, you can upload structural tables, anything you can upload it. So this is the storage account which mostly used for storing NoSQL data only. So now this frame1.html file, when I click on that, so here you can see, I can see the code of the HTML. See here, I can preview this file. I can preview this file from here also. Okay. From here also, I can get preview of the file. But what if I want to access this file with either my browser or with any other application? So I want to browse that file. So one URL will be provided by this Microsoft Azure. If I paste this URL in the browser and try to access this file, the Azure blocks me. Why? Because I have not given a public access to any of my data. Okay. So that is the reason why this Azure is blocking this file. Okay. Now for this, what I want to do, I want to define some policy. Okay. So I will, for defining policy, I will be going to this access policy. And in this access policy, I will be adding my own policy for accessing the data. Okay. So let us give some name to this policy, and let us define that policy, like what should be done on the data. Okay. So those are the things I have added to this Mahesh policy, and I will be saving this thing. Okay. Now, this is how we have added one policy to this container. Okay. So like the way you can create numbers of container, and you can create numbers of policy for different container. So this is how you will be managing your data, or you will be monitoring your data, like which policy should be applied on what container and what type of data access to be given to which users. Okay. So let us go to this input container, and now I want to add that policy to this frame1 file. Okay, this frame1 file. So what I will be doing, I will be going to this generate SAS, okay, and I will be defining the name with the policy which I have created, okay. And here, after selecting this Mahesh policy, you can see the permission automatically, 5 permissions has been granted. And I will be choosing HTTPS and HTTP because I'm accessing this file via browser only. So that is the reason why I'm choosing these 2 things, okay. Now click on generate SAS URL token, where I'm getting 2 things from here. One is SAS token and another one is blob SAS token, SAS URL, okay. So now I will be copying this URL and here I will be pasting this URL. So now see, I can access this file from this URL itself, okay? Because the previous part was it was not permitted for public access, but I have defined one policy to access this file, okay? So this is how I'm working with my data, and I'm working with my storage account. And under storage account, I'm defining some policies to different containers, like which data should be shown to whom and what purpose, at what action should be taken on that data by that user. Okay, so this is how we have completed the storage account practical, where you can host a website also. Now this website hosting, why it is being shown, like I have explained you in the overview also in the storage account. So when you go to this overview of storage account, where you will, the storage account is having one feature, okay. So what is the feature it is having? It is having a capability to host a static web page, okay. So that is the reason why this web page, we have uploaded HTML and this web page is been shown in the browser. Why so? Because it is having capability to host a static content on the blob services, okay. So this was the practical. Any doubts now you are having, please ask me this. All clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. Now let us move to this new practical, which is called as data factory. First, let me understand the concept of data factory, like what you have understand related to this data factory. Let us discuss that one first. What is data factory? Can I know from you people? What you have understood with the concept of data factory? Please let me know.
The data factory, where we collect all the resources we have collected, all the data we have collected, like any data from mobile, from your database, or from any files that can be stored in one location, and these files can be, after this, analyzed, then can be visualized afterwards. So number of files have been stored in one place. That is a data factory, what we understand.
Okay, okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's almost that only. Any other faculty would like to explain more, or would like to add more in this answer?
It provides a layer for transforming and integrating data. It provides kind of a layer for transforming and integrating data.
It provides a layer for transforming and integrating data. Okay. Yes, anyone would like to add more?
It is a pool of storing the data storage accounts at one place.
Okay. It's a pool like a what, ma'am? What you are
Pool
saying?
in the sense, huge storage.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, that can be also there. Okay, Shri ma'am has given some answer in the chat also. Conversion of data from different modes. Okay, transforming of data from one location to another. Okay. Yes, absolutely right, Shri ma'am. Yes, anyone more would like to add the answers? So you basically, what is this data factory? So you are extracting data from different data sources and you are transforming that data into one form. And after transforming this data, you are storing that data into a data warehouse or a storage account, like the storage account we have seen right. Okay. So this data is being further used by the people with the post of business analyst, okay, or data analyst for getting insights from that data. Okay. And after getting that insights from that data, this business decision maker takes some decision on that basis. Okay. So this is the actual work of data factory. Okay. In very simple word, I have explained to you. We are extracting data from different resources. We are transforming that data and we are storing that data in one data warehouse. And that data warehouse is being used to find the insights from that data. And we can make some decisions on that. Okay. So this is the whole concept of data factory. Okay. So now under this whole process, there are a lot of operations are going. Okay. I just brief out the overview of data factory, but under this overview, there are a lot of small steps are going under this data factory. Okay, where now we will be moving to this practical itself. Okay, so let us now do the practical with storage account only. Okay, now we know the concept of storage account. Okay, and we know the concept of SQL database. But moving to these two resources, instead of moving with these two resources, what I will be doing, I will be moving with only one resources. So let us assume we are having the storage account with the name Mahesh 422605. Okay. And you might be having your own storage account also. So here in the container, we have created one container also, right? And in that container, we have uploaded some file also. Okay. Now, what we will be doing in the data factory, there is one procedure is there, like Sri ma'am has told us, right? To transform data from one place to another place, like from one server to one resource to other resources. So if we want to do this process, we want to copy data from one resource to other resource. So now you will be saying to me, sir, for copying purpose, why we will be using data factory? So suppose I tell you, see, the data is in very big form actually. So if the data is in thousands of TB, okay, and that you want to transfer it in very short time, okay, so that is possible to transfer that data without taking help of this cloud computing or data factory. With physically, it's possible for you people. Yes, you can do it, but in very short time you can't do it, right? Because like we also know, to copying data from any resources to other resources, we need to download it, we need to save it somewhere, and again we need to uh, load it in some other resources. Okay, so this is the procedure we need to follow. Okay, so how this data factory will be helping in this scenario, that we will be seeing in this practical. Okay, so where what we will be doing, we will be creating two container. Okay, so one storage account we will be containing, we have configured, and under this one storage account, we will be making two containers. One already is being created by me, and one I will be creating with output container. Okay, so this is the two container we have created in one storage account. Now, what if I want to copy this framework, or let us upload one more file in this. Let us upload one more file in this text file. Okay. So this is one more file I have added. Suppose I want to copy this data factory.txt file into the output container. Okay. Now this practical looks very simple to you. Okay. But we are doing with the help of data factory. Okay. I can do right now also, but just imagine like the amount of data is in very huge form and you want to transfer from one container to another container. Otherwise, you want to transfer from this storage account to your SQL database, okay? Or you want to transfer from SQL database to your storage account. Anything can possible. From one resources to other resources also can possible. Or in between, under the storage account, you want to transfer from one container to other container, okay? So this is the procedure we will be doing with the help of data factory, okay? So here, what I have done, I have created one storage account, and under the storage account, I have created two containers. And those two containers, from one container, I want to copy the data to the other container. Okay. So in this scenario, this input is my source file and this output is my sink file. Now, what is this source and sink? Like source is from where we are taking data and sink is what where we will be putting this data. Okay. So just now I will be using word for this input as a source and output as a sink. Okay. Now let us create a data factory. For creating a data factory, search data factory. Okay. Search the word data factory. So in the services, the first option you need to select data factory. Okay. So now we need to create a data factory first for doing this copy operation. Okay. So let us click on create. You need to follow same procedure. Click on create. And here we need to give those many requirements which has been asked by this Microsoft Azure. Okay, fine. So let us give a resource group name where we want to put this data factory. So I want to put this data factory under this FDP AICT B7 Day 3 resource group. Okay. And this resource group is been allocated under this EF subscription. Okay. Again, this Azure is asking me to give some instance detail. Okay. I will be giving some instance detail to this data factory. What instance detail this factory will be needed? The factory name he is asking. Okay. Let us give some name to this data factory. Okay. So this is the name I have given to the data factory. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. Now, where you want to deploy this data factory? Again, some recommendation option I will be choosing. Let it be East US. So what is the version you want for your data factory? By default, it is V2 for this web.
Sir,
What is
same
EF
name.
subscription?
Excuse me, sir. You have given the same name as the account name, account storage name, same name you have given.
That can also work, ma'am. That can also work.
Okay.
But why I'm giving same name? Actually, I don't remember. Like I find some difficulty to remember new names. Na? That is the
Okay,
reason
sir.
I'm giving same name to each and everything.
Fine, sir. Fine.
But that doesn't matter actually. So you can give any same name also. You can give different name also.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now, what is the version of your data factory? So for EF subscription, I'm only having this one version only, V2. So by default, it will be getting set. Now, what I will be doing, I will be clicking on this review plus create. So see, after getting a requirement from us, this Azure has started the deployment and it started validating of our requirement. And now we will be clicking on create button. So this is how the data factory is being created on the cloud. So if you now you will be thinking, sir, what about those tasks in between? So here I can see Git configuration was there. Just a second, let me show you one more time. Here you can see Git configuration was there, sir. Networking was there. Advanced was there. Tags was there. directly he takes us to this review and why so. So those are the requirements which has been set by default by this Microsoft Azure. And if you want to set but according to your demand, you can set it according to your demand. If I want to configure my Git account with this data factory, so I can configure from here also. So I will be just unchecking this Git account, and here I can put my, I will be choosing this GitHub, and I will be giving my Git account link, and I will be giving the repo name. I will be giving branch name. I will be giving root folder name from where I want to get data into my data factory. So this is the source I have included with Git. The same thing I can include with Azure DevOps also. Okay. Now you people might be knowing this concept of Azure DevOps, where development and operation teams works together to achieve some goal. Okay. So this Azure DevOps account I will be configuring here with this data factory. From there also I can import data into this data factory. Okay. So in networking by default, the settings will be given like public endpoint will be getting selected, like self-hosted integration runtime, inbound connectivity will be public. And if I want to use private, I can use the private also. But for now, we will be using public only. So in advanced data factory encryption settings will be there according to the encryption settings, which we have discussed already. Those settings will be getting applied here. And tags, you people might already knowing this thing. So these are the tags which we have, where we can define this thing. Okay. So this is all about creation of data factory. Okay. Now let us move to this data factory and let us see how many of you have created. So almost few of you have created this data factory. What about rest people? Please create this data factory and storage account also. Yes, Anubhava ma'am, thank you for posting screenshot in the chat box. Okay. Okay. Till here, everyone, everything is clear. Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let us open this data factory. After getting deployment, you need to click on go to resource, and after go to resource, you will be having this dashboard of data factory. So all the operations we will be doing in the data factory, we will be doing in this Azure Data Factory Studio. Okay. And monitoring part related to data factory, you will be doing from here. Okay. See the cursor, like from here, you can do the monitoring part. Okay. You can use this command line also to create resources or to create any type of function. You can use this command line also. So this is the command line from where you, if you want to use with command line, you can use this command line also. So whatever operations we are doing under this GUI, you can do the same operations with command line also. Okay. Now the thing you need to do, you need to click on Launch Studio. Click on Launch Studio. So when you will be clicking on this Launch Studio, one new tab will be getting generated or open, and under this new tab, you will be redirected to this Azure Data Factory Studio. Okay. So hope so everyone reached till here. Yes. So here now you can see the steps what Ramaya ma'am was explaining. You are ingesting some data, like you are copying data at a scale once on a schedule. Okay. So what that mean? Like if there is some repetitive task you need to do in your company, like you want to copy data from one place and you want to transform it and you want to save to some data warehouse. Okay. And this task you want to do on daily basis. Okay. So in data factory, there is one procedure there where you can create one algorithm, you can, in your language, you speak like an algorithm, but here in Data Factory, you can create one pipeline. Okay. Under that pipeline, you will be putting that copy process, and you will be giving some triggering function to it. And now what is this triggering function? Like when you want to trigger this pipeline, or when you want to trigger this process, that triggering time you will be giving to this process. Like any data comes to the storage account, you will be copying that data to this new storage container. Okay. So new storage account, or with a different container. Okay. So this is the thing you can do with this Data Factory. And orchestrate. What is this orchestrate actually? So this orchestrate is nothing but, like I have defined the pipeline, like under one pipeline, there is one process. Like that pipeline, you can create multiple pipeline, and you can run those pipeline parallelly also and simultaneously also. Okay. And after running this pipeline, you are transforming that data. Okay. And now what is this transformation means? Like you are copying this data in one format to other format, or you are transforming data from Excel sheet to SQL database, or you are making some join operations. You are creating some SQL joins. You are creating some union joins. You are cleaning your data, right? So cleansing process is there. So that is the kind of transformation you will be doing in this data. And this is nothing but this is the packages, configure SSIS packages. What this packages means, like you are managing your whatever pipelines and whatever processes you have defined, those packages will be getting created, and you are managing those SSIS packages in the cloud. To run those SSIS packages and to manage those packages, you will be using this thing. Now, you can create a Data Factory procedure from here also, and you are having this tab where in the left hand side, so you can expand these, and you are having this menu section where if you click on this author. Okay, now you can all of you click on author tab. Okay, so when you will be clicking on author, so here you will be finding some steps, and here you can see pipelines are there, change data capture is there, then data sets are there, then data flows are there, and Power Query is there. So what are they? So this pipeline is already I have explained to you, like we are creating one new pipeline. So to create a new pipeline, you just click on this three dot and you can create a new pipeline. So see, under one pipeline, let me collapse this so it will be more visible to you all. So see here, I have created one new pipeline with the name pipeline one. It has been already defined. So under this pipeline word, I can perform those many activities. So this activity is nothing but it is a kind of processes I can perform on that data. Okay. So after data getting into this pipeline, what transformation should be done to this data? Those transformation activities is been defined here. Okay. So I just want to move data from one place to other place. So that will be coming under this move and transform. Okay, where I will be using this copy data from one place to other place. I just want to copy, so I will be using this copy data. If I want to copy data from one place to other place, but I want to do some operations in between that copy data. Like I'm having two tables. I want to join those two tables in my sync folder. Okay. Now you people might be knowing what is sync and source. Sync is nothing but where we are putting the output. Okay. So that scenario, I will be using this data flow. Okay. So this data flow I will be using. Okay. So this is how the use of data flow and copy data you can do it. Okay. Got these two things, copy and data flow? Any doubts here?
Sir, please repeat data flow.
Yes?
Sir, please repeat data flow.
Okay, fine. Let me explain the data flow. So see, copy data is nothing but you are copying from one place to other place. For that, one move and transform activity feature is there. under which you are just copying that data from one resource to other resource. Okay, and the data flow is nothing but here where, let me show you that also. Data flow is nothing but where you will be doing some operations on that data while copying this data. Okay, suppose I'm working in an IT company and I'm working as a data engineer. Okay, so I have copied data from different sources. Okay, and that data is in Excel format. Suppose, let us assume that data is in Excel format and there are two tables are there in one Excel sheet. And what my manager says to me, like, Mahesh, do one thing for me, join these two table in such a way that with the inner join. Okay, now you people might be knowing what is inner join, full outer join, self join, outer join. Okay, now this manager asked me to join these two table and get the common data from these two table. Okay, this is the task given by my manager. Okay, now I want to copy this data of the common which are having common values in these two table into one place. Okay, so this is the concept where I'm using the data flow, where I will be performing of join operation on these two table, and I will be taking those common values which are there in these two table and I will be putting it into one table. So this type of operation I will be doing with the help of data flow. Okay, got the point?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, thanks. Okay, fine. So this is the move and transform object. Now Synapse. Synapse is the ma'am explained to us, like we are doing some cleaning process. We are doing some operations on that. So here you can use this notebook or Apache Spark's notebook. We will be using to do some certain operations on data. So here also other functions you can use it, like to trigger HTTP trigger is there, or blob storage trigger is there. So to trigger functions, you can, if you are using to your data, so you can create your own function here and you can use those function in this place also. Okay, so you can use this place, and how to use it, that I will be explaining to you all. Okay, first let us see each and everything of these things. Okay, so in the batch services you will be finding some batches, and ma'am has also spoke related to this Databricks also, where you can write your own Python notebook, you can write your Databricks notebook, where we will be writing code in SQL query, SQL query language. And this is the data lake analytics, where you will be doing analytical process, like you are uploading USQL. In general, the activities needs to be done in general, like you want to look up some data, you want to write some store procedure, you want to write some script, you want to set some variables, web, you want to fetch data from web. So all those general things which is possible with the data factory, you can find here. So these are the things and SD insights in which you can get a third party software help, where you can connect with Spark, and from Spark you can import data to this data factory. Okay, already the data cleansing process will be done in this Spark or in this SD insights, and after cleaning that process you are importing that data into the data factory. Okay, so those are the things which you can perform, those are the activities which you can perform on the data. So iteration and condition, suppose some iteration process you want to do on your data, so this iteration process you can do it from here. Then machine learning, suppose any machine learning algorithm you want to apply to your data, so you can do it from here. Okay, and Power Query, in this Power Query you will be using you will be cleansing your data from data factory itself. Okay, in the data factory also you can clean your data. Okay, so those are the activities which you can perform in this data factory. Now let us learn how to use those activity in the data factory. So already we have created one pipeline, yes, and let us give some name to this pipeline. For giving some names, in the properties you can give names, and you can put a description for what purpose this pipeline is being created. Okay, so let us give some name and let us give some description. I'm using I am using this pipeline for copy data. Okay, so this is the property and name I have given, description and name I have given to my pipeline. So here you can see the name is being getting changed. Now I want to copy data. So what I will be doing, I will be going to this move and transform, and I will be just copying this thing, and I will be pasting, I will be just dragging and dropping in this place. Okay, so this is how, let me collapse this thing so you, the visibility will be more clear to you all. Okay, so this is my copy activity I have performed in here. Okay, so now what I need to do, I need to give some source and some sync path. Okay, like from where I need to copy data and from where I need to place that data which is been copied. Okay, so all those settings you will be finding here in the bottom. Okay, where you can give name to this copy data activity. So let us give some name. Okay, so or let us give some other name. Every time I'm giving same name. Okay, so I'm giving copy activity. Okay, copy name, and the activity state is activated. Timeout. Our timeout should be given for certain activity. Like within that, any copy data activity is not performing, it will be getting timeout within this 0.12 seconds. So this is the time interval and output you can give it. Now, what is the thing you will be doing? You will be clicking on source. You will be clicking on source, and we will be defining which is our source. Okay, for that
Source
you will be
would be
clicking.
our input, no sir.
Yes, source will be your our input, like the storage account we have created, and we have created one input container. So that input container will be our source, and that output container will be our sink. Okay, but to understand, to link this data factory to the storage account, okay, we need to link between this data factory and storage account. We need to create one link services that ma'am has also tell you. Rekha ma'am has also explained you the link services, right? The diagram which Rekha ma'am has shown you, like some link services is being created between data factory and resources. Okay, so that also we will be creating here. So this source data, now this is the source means we will be getting input file. Okay, so click on new, and you will be going to this one list of new data set will be open. So here is the list, like how many sources you can use for getting for inputting your data. So here you can see third party software also there, SAP EAC. So those many are the data sources from where you can import data. Okay, those many data sources are there from where you can import data. But right now we are using this Azure function, Azure resources only. So I will be clicking on this Azure resource. And what is the type of my resource? The type of my resource is Azure Blob Storage. So it is a storage account, right? So I need to define here that the data from where I want to import it, that data, that resource is of storage account. So I click on Azure Blob Storage and click on continue option. Okay. So under this blob storage, what is the type of data I want to copy? That type of data I will be choosing as that format. Actually, what type of data is I want to copy, that format I will be choosing. If it was CSV, I will be choosing CSV. If it is text, if it is Excel, I can choose Excel. If it is in JSON, I can choose JSON. XML, I can choose XML, anything. But let us choose this binary option. I want a binary format. So click on continue. Now here, see, one link services I need to create. Okay, so this is the link services. The name is there. You can change this binary one also. So you can change this binary name to source. Okay, if it is not mandatory, like it is optional part, keep it binary one also. Either you can give your name. So now I want to create one link services. So let us create link services between Data Factory and storage. So for creating link services, I will be clicking on new option. Okay. So click on new option where one form will be getting generated, and under this form, I will be explaining all those things. Now you need to do only two activities. One, you need to select EF subscription, and under this EF subscription, you need to select your storage account. Okay, it is not showing. If it is not showing, you need to no account form. Why so? Oh, it's been. I think it is deleted. I think so. Let me see. Let me cancel this thing. Click on new. Click on Azure Blob Storage. Continue. Click on binary format. Continue. And here I will be creating new link services. Under these services, I will be choosing subscription. Like EF subscription is the only subscription I'm having. And here I want to choose the storage account. Let me refresh this. So whether you people are getting the storage account name of yours?
Sir, the storage accounts have been deleted.
It has been deleted.
All the storage accounts have been deleted.
That is the reason why it is not showing. Okay, let it be. Might be actually what is happening. Simultaneous trainings are going in the colleges now, so those trainers are deleting those resources which has been created by students. Might anyone have deleted the resources? It's okay, no worry. I will be creating one more time storage account. It doesn't take that much time. You can also create one storage account, and you can try this practical of Data Factory. Okay, so this is how I have created one storage account with the name Mahesh123. Now let me create two containers under these, one container with input and one container with output. One container with output. Okay, so those are the two containers. Now what I will be doing, I will be uploading some data in this one input container. It's again, let me refresh this. Let me upload some data in this input container. Okay, let me upload text file only. Okay, so we are having one text file in my input container, and nothing is there in my output container. Okay, so this is the output container. So nothing is there in this container. Okay, now let us go to our Data Factory practical. Now here we need to give source. Okay. Now here I can see one my storage account name is being shown here. So this is the storage account I will be configuring, and I will be creating link service. Okay, this is here you can see I'm creating link service between my data factory and storage account through which this data is been getting transferred. Okay, so this is how I'm creating a link service, and click on create button. Click on create button. Okay, so here you will be getting message successfully created. And after creating this link service, now this is the name of my link service, Azure Blob Storage 1. So this is the name of my link service. And here I want to give some path, like which data I want to copy. Okay, this path I want to give it, file path. So for giving path, what I will be going, I will be going to this browse folder. Okay, this folder symbol is there. I will be going here. I will be choosing this input, and I will be choosing the data which I want to copy. So this is the data I want to copy from input container. So click on OK. So here the path will be getting set. See, from input container, data.factory.txt file you want to copy. So click on OK.
Diana, I think Magesh's line
I
got
see some
disconnected.
network problem is there. One
Okay.
minute, Shashwat.
Sure.
Message.
So sorry, participant. I think there was some network issue with the trainer side. Hopefully, we'll be joining in 2 minutes. So please wait for 2 minutes.
He's joining back in a moment, Shashwat.
Sure, sure. So meantime, I'll also try to utilize this time. I hope like some of you have already filled this Google form. I'll also share it again. So this Google form is basically the Google form to give feedback for the guest session. We had a guest session where we got experts from the EY Global Delivery Services. So basically, I need your feedback on that. So I'm just putting that feedback link in the chat box. If you already filled that, that's fine. If you have not filled it, you can just take 1 or 2 more minutes to fill this form. And again, this is only for the guest session. This is not about our entire 5 days of training program, but just this 1.5 hour of guest session, you have to give the feedback. And also, I'll also share this YouTube link, which we are uploading our videos, recorded videos. So you can also refer to the videos whenever you feel there is a need to refer it. I'll just put that in the chat box again. So again, I have mentioned that in the chat box. So maybe I'll just show you this video also. I'll share my screen and I'll show this video also with all of you. Just give me 1 minute time. I'm just utilizing this time because since there was some network problem with the trainer.
Mahesh sir have joined session.
Oh.
He's back.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll just take 1 minute to finish this. So participant, this is the link which I've shared. Once you click this link, you will be taken to this place. And if you scroll down, you can see this current batch videos. These are all like previous batch videos. If you want, you can also refer to this videos. But this is the current batch videos, like day 1 and day 2. We are uploading the day 3 video by today. But yeah, so every day we will upload it. And whenever you feel like you want to refer this video, feel free to refer this. So Magesh is back now, and over to Magesh.
So thank you, sir. Saraswati. Sorry, actually some power issue was there with me. Could not figure out. Okay, fine. I am. Let me share my screen. Okay, please confirm me whether you're getting my screen or not.
Yes, sir. We can.
Okay, thank you, sir. So here we are at this position. Actually, okay, let me refresh this thing also. So okay. Now let me create one pipeline. So it was already created, but it gets lost, I think so. Let's create new pipeline. Let me zoom it more so you can see. Okay. Now let us create one copy data activity. Okay. So this is the copy data activity. Let me minimize these things. Okay. Now let us give some source to this. Let us create a new button. Go to Azure, click on blob storage, because why? We are having this blob storage. So click on this binary format. Click on continue. Now click on link services. So already one link services were created, but I will be choosing new link services for this, and choose the subscription and choose the storage account to which I want to link this data factory. Okay. Now click the create button. Provide path. Now provide the path to the data which you want to copy. So I want to copy this data factory.txt file into my output folder. Okay, so I will be giving path to this data factory file and click on OK. So this is how we have configured our source. Okay, and now we need to configure our sink also. Okay, so from source to sink we are copying the data, right? So this sink also we will be copying. So now the link services, is there any need to create new link services for sink also? According to you, is there any need to create one more link services? Yes. What is the role of link services? To just link those data factory and resource. Right now, what is happening in our scenario? Both source and resource are in the same resource, right? Source and sink are in the same resource. Okay, so already we have linked up the storage account with our data factory. So now there is no need to create one more link services. We can use this previous link services only, okay, which we have created. So click on this new tab, click on the storage account, because the output file is of storage only. So we will be choosing this Azure Blob Storage. Click on continue. What will be the format? I will be choosing binary format only because it is in text file. I'm copying text file, so I'm using this binary format. Okay, click on continue. And here I will be using this link services which I have created for source. Okay, the same link services, and I will be clicking on the folder and I will be choosing the folder where I want to copy the data. Okay, so in output I am not seeing anything. Just click on OK. Click on OK. So this is how I have configured source and sink, and I'm copying data from source to sink. Okay, so now to run this data factory, now this is the procedure I have created in the data factory. Now I can trigger this. Okay, I can trigger this according to the schedule time. I can trigger now also. Okay, so this is how the trigger function works in the data factory. Now any data comes to the storage account input container, then the new data comes to this input container. So I will be creating one Azure function also. Suppose any new data comes to this input container, it will be getting copied to this output container. So such function I can develop in Azure function, and I can use that function in this data factory also. Okay. And if I want to just copy on each day, like I want to do this activity every day, but then I will be defining some time to it. Like in the evening, this activity will be getting performed. Okay. So this is the thing, or this is the working of trigger, which I have shown to you. But before moving to this trigger, we need to publish whatever things we have performed in the data factory, like whatever pipeline we have created, we need to publish this pipeline. So here for publishing, you will be finding option in this about tab, where you will be finding publish all. Click on that and you need to publish this pipeline. Okay, so this is how the publishing and deployment is been getting started, and this is how the publishing, after completing publishing, now you will be see publishing is been getting completed. Now you will be triggering this process. For while we are triggering now only, we will be not giving any time for triggering. So click on add trigger, click on trigger now, and click on OK button. So see what trigger option will be getting. So pipeline starts running, and if you want to view this pipeline, there is one option is also there, view pipeline. Okay, where you can see the status of pipeline, whether it is in progress or it is been succeeded. So here you can see the pipeline is been succeeded, and to preview this detail, you can click on the details, and here you can see from one blob storage to another blob storage, the file is being getting transfer and is being getting copied. Okay, now this is the procedure, and this is the time limit, like start time, use ID, use parallel copies, then duration, how much duration it is it gets to copy data from one container to another, and what is the bytes of data. So all the informations you will be getting here. Okay, so this is the monitoring part. So see in this option, all the monitoring part related to the data factory you can see here. Now here, what are the triggers run, what are the pipelines run, then change the data capture preview. So all the things you can see here. Now what if I tell you there is one process which cannot be performed by this data factory which we have created. So I need a larger compute source to run that process. Okay, at that time I can create that compute source from this integration runtime. So automatically by default one integration runtime will be generated at the while creating this data factory. So if I want new compute sources for different processes, okay, like this is one compute source, and another I want different compute source for different pipelines. Okay, so I can do it from here also. So here those concepts are there. One is self-hosted, the third one is second one is Azure, then Azure SSIS and Airflow. So those are the concepts. Like self-hosted means you are hosting something in selfly. Okay, inside Azure only, like two of the compute sources you are taking from Azure, and your resource like source and sink are also from Azure only. This is what also self-hosted and Azure. So you can explore more about this integration runtime, because we are having very less time. Otherwise, by tomorrow I will be explaining all those concepts. It takes some time to explain it. Okay, so don't worry about this part. I will be explaining to you all. So let us see whether our file is being copied or not. Okay, so this is my storage account. Now I will be going to this container and I will be opening this output file. So see here, the file is being copied by this data factory. So this is the practical which we have performed with the data factory, which is of copy data from one container to another container. And by tomorrow, we will be doing second practical with the data flow, how this data flow works in the data factory, how the operations we can perform with this data factory. Okay. So till now, any doubts you people are having, please let me know. Yes. Faculty, any doubts related to this practical? Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for your feedback. Okay, I think we should stop. We should wrap up our session at this point. And Shashwatan, are you there on call?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you, Magesh. Thank you, Diana, for this session. Again, I hope you find it very useful, participants. And we're almost at the end of the day today. So I thought of discussing two things, but I already discussed that during, just a few minutes back. One is please give the feedback for this voluntary or guest session. Second one is we have uploaded the video in the YouTube. You can refer to that. I'll also mention these two links in the WhatsApp group for your reference. And third thing is just a reminder for the attendance. So please ensure you are marking your attendance on a daily basis directly in the LMS. So nothing else from my side. I hope there is no